Hello.
Hi.
Hey!
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Baggage Claim D&D, following the story of the Vagabonds. I will not be doing the recap tonight. Abigail will be doing the recap. I still have a few things to take care of, so give me a couple of minutes here while I get settled in. I'm not doing the recap tonight. Thank you for your patience in standing by, waiting. Yes, so Inaira the elk are both gone. They scampered off into the Fey mist at the end of the last thing. Inaira also, as I'm sure Abby will cover, had Mummy Curse, but I'm not going to say anything more until the recap happens. So, thank you to everyone for watching and joining us here. If you miss any of our previous episodes, you can check them all out on YouTube if you search Baggage Claim D&D. That's D ampersand D. Yeah, that's what that symbol's called. It's an ampersand. What up? I know what writing is. Yeah, so I also make YouTube videos as well. You can search my name. It's Matthew Lake. You can search it, and I make videos about writing in D&D, or writing just in general. The last video I made came out Thursday, and it's about character creation. So, you can learn how to make good characters. But not how I make them yet, because that's for next week. But, okay. Well, without further ado, Abigail, take it away with a recap.
Last time on the Vagabonds. After trekking through the city of ill clouds and the muddy forlorn land behind the walls of Haversteep, only to find their contact impaled to the floor in the ruins of the library of the Order of Xenia, the Vagabonds were glad to find the warm embrace of camaraderie and friendship within the walls of Frankenbeans. While exploring the wholesome town of Moorstop, they found joy in the deep, fruity chocolate that Ute imbued his classic Ute fruit muffins with. And after a night of translating, talking, and preparing for the journey ahead, the Vagabonds set out with Zelene to retrieve a powerful object that Arcturus was meant to grab. So, the Vagabonds set out once more on the soppy terrain, the smell of drying rain filling the air for a moment of the journey, only to fade into the now expected dark, earthy scent of storm and sorrow. They continued through thoughtless sky and joyless terrain until happening upon the deserted city of Greywitch. Its skyline was stained with fallen buildings boiling up like coal-hot sugar, the memories housed in their walls lost eternally with their destruction. The dead that lay in them, though, were not. Upon Zelene's discovery of the target building, she was swept into the ground by massive dripping claws, and the Vagabonds were overrun with hordes of the living dead. Weary battle ensued for what seemed like forever when Xarius signaled that the party should follow and help Zelene before she died alone. We ended the session, Zelene's shredded and bloodied body in the frame of a doorway, the claws of a hideous creature still embedded in her back.
Excellent.
And real quick.
Worm?
Yeah, go ahead.
Worm?
Looking at my character sheet, because I know there was a long-ass battle, I don't see any spell slots taken or anything.
Oh, I kept track of that in my journal.
Okay.
I think she just cast one spell, I think. One
Was it
spell
just
in
the
Druid
conjure
Craft.
animals?
Not Druidcraft. Yeah, just conjure animals and then Shillelagh. Not
Really?
Druidcraft.
Cool.
Also-
Conjure animals at 5th level.
Yeah.
FYI.
Cool.
Also, for you spell preppers, make sure that you're prepping the correct number of spells. I know that it's a lot
I went through
sometimes,
and
but
fixed
yeah,
that.
just double check, because wouldn't be fair. All right,
Yeah.
so, okay. Let me change the music here so we can get right into the zone. Not that one. This one. Okay. So, you find yourselves in the dry, dark, natural tunnels underneath the ruined town of Greywitch. The arid, cool air granting you a bit of a reprieve from the heat of the battle on the surface. You search through these caverns, deciding, this is a little bit of a recap also, deciding not to catch your breath and take a rest, and pushed forward. Varus leading quickly, followed by Kanan and the rest of the group. Inaira, suffering the effects of the mummy's curse, was in a great deal of pain and felt intense weakness, but thankfully was cured by Xarius before you found yourselves in a sort of open area, where you saw several paths laid out, some of which being clearly constructed. Recognizing a skeleton archer perched and ready to strike, Varus blasted one and avoided a shot from the other, who Kanan quickly pulverized. Gathering yourselves, you saw a banshee and turn the corner. Sorry, I skipped 2 lines. You saw a figure pass by along the constructed path directly in front of you and ventured there, quickly finding the horrifying visage of a banshee shrieking. You dispatched the banshee and turned the corner, hearing a rustling, scraping noise at the door. It opened to reveal a wounded, bloodied, and ragged Zelene, who muttered a word of apology before being yanked back by the enormous talon still protruding from her chest and gut, back into the darkness behind the door. So, Vagabonds, what would you all like to do? Oh, let me move you to the map so you can actually see.
Yay.
Because, you might want to know what's going on.
I think we'd rolled initiative, right?
I think we did, but we're going to redo it. But if you want to pursue, if you want to just say, it's not our business, we're leaving. We don't need to do that.
Let's just go on home.
Well, on that note,
So what would you all like to do?
we're not leaving her. Right. You
No.
just saw that.
Yeah, we've
We're
got to
going.
get in there.
All right, enough talking. Kanan's gonna just go ahead and run.
Okay.
She's dying.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's roll some initiative then. Oh,
Okay,
no.
guys.
One
Okay.
for one
Every time
for,
I try to type in the amount for his roll, someone enters something and it takes me off of the entering thing.
Oh. Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Okay, it did go into Varus. Good. I gotta figure out how Varus works.
We'll just roll for this guy here.
I would like to say that Jevon's exact words were, I said, any notes for playing Varus? He said, stab things and fly. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see no lies.
Ooh, I got a 1 on that roll. Nice. Quality
Good.
stuff.
That's what you like to hear.
Oh, yes. So, sorry, I didn't see the chat. Yeah, mummy curse. Yeah. So, I would like,
Darius
everybody.
is the one with the money curse.
Yeah, that's right. Everyone
And
go
Ira
ahead.
just actually won the
and-
lottery.
Everyone go ahead and give a brief description of your characters, what they're wearing in this moment, ready for combat. How are you dressed? How are you looking? As I fix the initiative order and move everything around where it needs to be. So I think first is Kanan. If you wouldn't
Yes.
mind going ahead.
Yeah. Kanan is a is a tabaxi with orange tabby fur, long ears with tufts of fur puffing out, super long fur. She is missing one finger on her left hand. But still claws her way to victory. She's got these massive bloomers on. They're just regular dark gray bloomers, and this big blue shirt that's all gathered and puffy. Think Gibson girl shirts, if you know what I mean. And underneath all of it, she's wrapped in tons of just tape, activity tape, basically.
Okay. Next up, Zarius. What are you wearing? What do you look like?
Yeah, so we got Zarius. He's sort of propped up against the wall, probably breathing a little heavy after the long fight that just ensued. He's a very pale tiefling, although at this point it's kind of hard to tell with all the dirt and blood and just sweat that's all mixed up from the long battle that just happened. And he's got tons of little floating fairies that are flying around him at the moment.
That's right. Oh yeah, they're little angels.
Yeah,
teeny little angels.
Just tiny, small little angels with very sharp teeth.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And Ira?
Anayara is a wood elf druid. She's shorter than the rest of the party because the entire party's pretty tall. She's like 5 foot something. I don't know how tall she is. She's like 5 foot something. But right now she's got this black cape on that's kind of like a sheer green, and it's got really shittily embroidered leaves on the edges, hand embroidered. She's wearing a leather chest plate, I think, that's like etched with like a tree and some leaves and other stuff. Then just normal pants, really curly red hair, really green eyes. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And Harriet, you're the last one.
Yeah, that's me. Harriet's 6'7", thick dragon woman, and yeah, she's about just over 50 years old, and got these 2 long, big horns, and she's kind of a lot of green and yellowish tones you can see here, and wears these like high-waisted, dark purple trousers with like this big belt with like a dwarven belt buckle on it. And some holsters. She has a teacup holster and a gun holster, and yeah, just this really ruffly blouse as well. Yeah, and just like a purple hair bandana that's probably pretty singed right now from the battle. So yeah.
Okay. All right, great. And since Varus isn't here, I will take it upon myself to describe him. Varus is a thin but tall elven man, wood elf, with long blonde hair, very handsome, stylish, very showy with his appearance and behavior, mannerisms, everything. It's all about the performance, putting on a big to-do. Yeah, and I think that's pretty good. Varus wields
everyone else down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Varus wields a rapier. I was about to say a fencing sword, but that's what a rapier is. So, yeah, he wields a rapier. All right. So, with that said, I think since we're going to initiative, we gotta just switch it up. Okay. So, first up is the creature holding Zelene. It does something that you can't see because you're not there. So. Next is Kanan. You're bolting around the corner, right? What do you want to do?
Okay, just a recap for me.
Yeah.
It's this direction?
Yep, yeah, it was to the left. So here.
Okay.
There was Zelene. Oh, let me move it to the battle screen here. Boop. So, yeah. Oh, no, is it gonna do it wrong? Yeah. Why is this being so weird? Sorry, one sec.
Alrighty.
It's like not. There we go. My viewer screen wasn't updating, so it was just showing everything in the wrong spot. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, what you saw is the talons protruding from Zelene's chest and gut, hanging her out in front of this doorway before she was yanked backwards out of sight.
Okay, yeah. So 30 there.
Okay.
I don't see Zelene.
Yeah, she's gone. You turn the corner and you just see nothing. It's just a bunch of shadow and darkness. You do notice that there are several figures that are rising to life in the room with you. Varus is still flying.
I'm gonna run past this first one, the bony looking one.
Okay.
And attack the mummy as I look down the next hallway.
All right. As you look down this next hallway, you see it looks like a series of rooms. Just on a quick check, this isn't going to give you a ton of information, but it looks just like a couple of rooms. It looks like this was designed to either house people or be like a storage facility, something like that. You're not quite sure on this quick of a glance, but go ahead and make your strikes against the mummy. Yeah, 18 hits for sure. 18 and 15 both hit. Nice, dealing quite a bit of damage there. Ooh, yeah. Wow, 23 damage. You notice the poison doesn't have an effect.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And Kaden's just gonna shout out to everyone and be like, I don't see you guys!
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No.
No? Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on here. There you go. Got some noises. Sorry, I got sound effects. All right. Next up is Zarius. What would you like to do?
Zarius is gonna sword draw and run up to here. which
Okay.
is all of his movement.
Yeah.
And I believe the Spirit Guardians was just a 3rd level because that's all I had. So submit. And then
Gotta roll
let's
some
see.
saves here. Oh, your spell save DC 17. Okay.
Correct.
All right. So, as you round the corner, you see the skeleton archer drawing back his bow, and as your spirit guardians turn the corner, they just rip him to pieces right in front of you. Bones clatter across the ground. The other
Gotcha.
ones to take a fair beating from your spirit guardians.
And then I don't really want to use any spells on these guys, so he's just going to hold his action to attack something with his sword if it gets close enough.
Okay, sounds great. All right, next up is... Oh, you all rolled right in next to each other. Okay. Next up is Anira.
Yeah,
like
it
to do?
is. Good question. Well, I need to get over there. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah. And then, can I cast Moonbeam
Sure, yeah.
at 2nd level on... Is this one still there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. On that one.
Okay. Let me find a token here for that moonbeam. It looks cool. Sure, this one works.
Ooh. That is cool.
Here, I'll give you control over it. So you can move it around.
Yay.
And it emits light, right? I can never remember with moonbeam. Let me look, okay.
You on each of you get 60. Dim light fills the cylinder, but I don't think it emits light.
Okay, so we'll say low light for 5 feet.
Yeah,
You're putting it.
and it's on. That's a.
You're putting it right on him.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Sounds great. DC 16 con save. Ooh, ouch. Okay. All right. He saves, so he takes half damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that's 6 damage, or 5 damage. Sorry. Okay. And as you cast the spell, you see this magical beam of iridescent moonlight shine through the stone ceiling overhead. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Yeah.
Nah, not for now.
Okay. All right. Next up is Harriet. Oh, you're concentrating. Real quick. All right. Harriet,
It is concentration.
it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Follow my friends around the corner. She's gonna have her quarterstaff up like a sniper rifle as she
Okay.
goes around the corner.
Sounds great.
And move a little bit. Bum, bum. And kind of stand right next to Zarius and see this lad right here and fire off. I think that was. Let's see. And fire off a little firebolt moment just at this guy.
All right. Yeah. Sounds
Let's
great.
see how it goes.
That one. You let loose the firebolt, but Zarius ducks to dodge out from some of the bones clattering from the skeleton nearby and steps right in front of the end of your shot. So Zarius, you take that 12 damage as the firebolt slams into just the back of your head.
Okay.
Sorry, Zarius. Oh my word. Oh dear.
Right.
Okay. You gonna hellish rebuke her or no? I'm just kidding.
Absolutely. No. 100%. 5th level.
Oh my god.
All right.
Only you can prevent forest fire.
Anything else you want to do, Harriet?
Just look sorry. I gotta lower the quarterstaff a little bit. Like, had the momentum. Like, she was feeling pretty like, okay, we're going in there. And then just, all right.
Okay. Next up is Varus. What would you like to do, George Varus?
Yeah. Varus is still flying, so he's going to kind of do that thing where he's like, head on his hand and like flying on his side almost, and just drift over his 45 feet
Okay.
to this guy right here, and then like balancing his sword on his finger, he's gonna drop it almost into his hand and then take 2 swipes at this guy.
Okay.
Seemed flashy enough for Varus.
Oh yeah, both of those will do it. So yeah, Varus swipes down, just kind of, like, yeah, this is nothing, and just hacks this mummy to pieces and collapses in a pile of dust and bone and rags on the floor. Anything else for Varus?
Turn.
That's it? Okay. All right, next up is the other creatures roaming through the space. Okay, so this dude's got to make a wisdom save because he's in the space.
Let me.
He rolled a nat 1, so he doesn't have enough health left to be alive.
Okay, I won't even roll it then.
Yeah, so between the moonlight shining down on him, dealing some damage, and the spirit guardians kind of pulling and tearing at him, the mummy just is ripped into shreds, into ribbons. And that is it. You don't see any other immediate threats at the moment. So, Vagabonds, what would you like to do?
That can't be it, right?
He didn't just disappear.
Well, I mean, he's not here. Is he on the ceiling or something? Is he? Is he on the ceiling?
Make a perception check.
I'll look up.
15. You look around, you get a pretty good look, you feel, and you notice that he's not on the ceiling. But what else you notice is that there's a fine layer of like dust and dirt on the ground. It's about an inch thick. It looks like just stuff that might have settled over time. So it's very easy. You notice even in the brief scuffle that you had here, there's a lot of footprints. They're very identifiable, very easy to follow. And the strange thing is, where you saw him kind of pull Zelene back, there just are no prints. You know this creature travels on talons, so like it's rather than footprints, it has these sort of holes where its talons rest, but you don't even see those.
Oh dear.
Is there another way out of this room that we see immediately?
Yeah, so you look around, and so the path here, off to your right, there's another door that leads that way, and then down to the south of the map, it's a long hallway down that leads back to the entryway that you saw from the ground before, right? You looked in through those slats there that were built in with the stone, and you saw into a little foyer area. You couldn't quite make it out, except for Varus because he was flying. But yeah, you see down this long hallway, there are several doors that Kanan noticed earlier that seem to lead to some kind of storage or housing rooms or something like that. In the room that you're in right now, there are a number of like barrels that look like they're for storage, and crates and, boxes, those kinds of things.
Well, Varus, you can go invisible. Do you think this thing can also go invisible? Because I don't see any footprints.
I mean, it's possible, but even when I'm invisible, I leave footprints.
Oh.
What does it look like? You know how like you can tell when a creature jumps by its prints because they're kind of like.
Make a survival
You know
check.
what I mean?
No, and I,
You know what
I
I mean.
don't.
While they're doing that, or go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Did the angle we saw her body get yanked, was it like down that way,
Yeah.
or did we like get an angle? Okay. So you can go ahead with the survival check.
Okay. Yeah, so you take a look around and you examine the prints that you've seen, and you notice, one, that Zelene's feet did not touch the ground. So she was not like walking as she did this. She was hanging on the ends of this thing's talons. The other thing is, where the talons set, they just go away. It's like there's no extra impression from that you can tell from it leaping or anything. It's just there are the little spots, and then there are no spots. Although it may have been obscured. Sorry, it may have been obscured during the scuffle, but from what you can tell, yeah.
Her body got yanked that way. Surely we must go run after them that way.
It's,
Well,
you
I
know,
can run.
time is of the essence, I suppose.
I mean,
So
down this hallway. Let's go.
Ew.
Run.
Okay. Go ahead and you move down. You can move yourselves around. And as you approach this way, you do hear a sort of gentle, like, thudding on the doorways to your left and right here. Because there's doorways here, right, all along that you're passing through. It's just kind of a dull thud. Just like something banging on the doors.
Just gonna run, I think, right by him, unless it looks like one's been opened recently.
Okay, yeah.
Is there...
It's not really any indication that they've been opened recently, but they do open. They're not locked, that you see from here.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be opening them. You'd just be like looking to see if there's like, drag marks in the dust from where a door's been opened and shut.
Okay. Yeah,
Or
you don't
something like
notice
that.
anything.
Okay.
What you do see as you round the corner is one of these creatures takes a swipe at you, Kanan. As you pass by,
okay.
there's just a hole in the wall, and this undead, rotting arm just clobbers out at you. So we'll see. That's a 20 to
I
hit.
moved my.
God hits.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as this thing jams its arm out through this gap in the stone and just slaps you in the head.
Fair enough.
It also has to make a wisdom save since the rest of you caught up. Why does it have the stat, the saving throw wisdom +0? Like, obviously it's a +0. Okay, and that's a 15. Okay. All right. So this creature has kind of just grappled. It's not like holding Kanan, but it's just grabbing at Kanan pretty well. And you also see another doorway in there. This looks to be like an office space, kind of an office area that the thing is reaching out of. I see it. Yeah.
Of course you see it. You put it there.
Man, it's scary.
The other thing you notice is that Zelene is dangling down here in the shadows, hanging, and she looks unconscious at this point. I mean, she or at least unaware.
oh no.
And the creature sees you looking up, and you now get a decent look at it. It's still wreathed in shadow because there's no light anywhere in here. But you see it kind of reach its talons underneath her arms and hold her like a marionette almost, and dangle her, and then vanish.
What?
Both of them?
Both of them.
I don't like this, you guys. Not at all.
Is it turning invisible?
Can...
The zombie's gonna take another attack at Kanan.
I'm gonna kill the freaking zombie.
It's gonna
Can I
take-
move my moonlight to approximately where it was, just
Sure.
to
Yeah.
see? Because I moved it down with me, so like wherever it approximately was.
Yeah, wherever you saw it last. You see
Yeah.
nothing.
More damage for the zombie. 6
I'm gonna
whole
just
points.
smash this zombie's arm off real quick.
Yeah, that's enough. You smack down. Oh wait, I got a thing for this. Hold on. You smash the zombie's arm off, and the arm continues to grab at your ankles as you break down.
No.
Yeah, it's gonna make an attack.
I'm gonna use my second attack to smash the arm now.
Okay, and then the zombie is gonna attack with its other arm.
Can I use my moonlight to just to dissolve the zombie?
Well, I mean, you can only move the moonlight so far per
True.
instance, right? So you got to choose what you want to do. You can't do everything.
Guys, we can.
Yeah,
Well,
Zarius
it's
and
60 feet a
Varus
turn,
are
but I guess
Yep.
it's not a second turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's
so
her second attack. She's smashing the hand
all right.
that's on the ground.
So the first, yeah, you smash the arm off. Between the spirit guardians and everything else, yeah, that's enough to kill this zombie in the hand. I was just
All
having
right,
some
are
fun
we
with it.
done here? Can we go find
was-
this thing?
It was down here, right, Matt?
It's down in that space.
Okay. How far down a drop is it?
It's like 20, 30 feet.
Climb down that.
Varus will say, I mean, I can fly down that.
Oh, well, if you do that, then I'll run around the other way and see if I run into it.
Well, all right. And he'll kind of... Is it...
You hear a rattling behind you, Kanan. And the door
Not the zombie again, is it?
creak open. Hold on a sec, I gotta find all my things here. And
Don't like that.
let's see. Make a dexterity saving throw.
No. Worm?
Worm.
15. You notice on the ground between you and Harriet is a little squiggling, squirming worm.
Oh no! It's
What do you want to do?
Step on it.
Okay. Step on it. Great. Sounds good. It's squished. No problem.
Are the slats in the windows, are they like open? Or is it like actual windows there?
No, it's just like pillars of stone that are kind of in the way there. So,
Gotcha. So if Varus wanted to fly out, he could.
yeah, you could fit through there.
Okay. So
I
he'll
think
just
Harry
come out.
would probably have a tough time fitting out through there, being a little more broad-shouldered, but everybody else would be able to fit through okay.
Yeah,
Varus is going to
Varus
dip
will come
down.
out.
Okay.
Nah, I think he'll stay kind of level with everyone, but just get out here and see if he can see something, hear something.
Okay. Make a perception
Just
check.
as far as, let me pull my, there we go.
14.
That's Varus.
That's fine. You don't really... It's hard to say. You don't really hear anything that sounds any more out of the ordinary than what you've currently experienced.
Yeah. Okay.
But you don't hear any movement or anything like that. You have no real indication of where this thing went from your current location.
Well, Kanan, do we want to, kind of move around from both sides and see if it's there?
Yeah, I'll meet you guys on the other side.
Zarius will say, I'll go with Kanan since there's more likely to be things in here. So I'll kind of follow after you if we're going back this way.
Yeah, sounds good.
And Varus, unless anyone's going to follow Varus this way, he's just going to start flying this way.
All
But
right.
then you want Naira and I. Where are we going? Just
You can
down?
follow us or climb down after Varus.
I should
Or
probably
hang
follow
out
you.
here in case it shows up here.
I don't like Varus just going alone, flying or not.
Oh, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that doesn't help. All right, I'll try and get down. I can't. I'm gonna have to drop down there though.
You're gonna have a tough
Yeah.
time fitting through
Yeah.
the things there.
Naira, if you want to go first.
I will try, and I
Here,
will.
I'll help. And he'll offer you his hand to like get through the pillars and then like kind of float down behind her until she's on the ground.
Yeah, easy enough.
Okay.
You descend down. And Varus, as you round that corner, you see the creature,
Yeah, I saw it earlier. I just didn't want to say anything.
as well as Zelene, hanging on its talons.
All right, so Zarius and Kanan are probably going to run off the other way.
I guess I have to follow you guys. I don't think I'm gonna make it down there.
Kanan, if you want to go first.
Yeah. Yeah, let
Split
me
the party,
double
split
check
the-
where the...
Varus is going to shout back, guys, he's right there. He's right there.
is right there.
As Varus calls that out, you hear this kind of sick cackling, this really dry, like... and it withdraws further back into this space here, pulling Zelene with.
So
What is
Kanan's-
there? 5, 10, 20, 50, 55.
30.
Feline agility. So
Sirius is going to run 30.
25, 30, 35.
This will be all that Sirius can do in the first turn.
45.
Yeah,
And I have enough.
I'm right behind Zarius.
I can attack it.
Okay. Real quick. So a lot of things have happened here at once.
Yes.
I can go
So
back.
no, you're fine. You're fine. As Zarius, you moved through, and Harriet and Kanan. Kanan, you heard that thudding on the doors even more like violently that you heard the first time. It sounds like there's like vicious banging on the doors trying to get out. Zarius and Harriet, as you both pass through, kind of one right behind the other, that, especially you, Zarius, you notice as you begin to pass through that area, the banging gets more fearsome, more aggravated, and then stops.
Oh, that's probably not good.
No, it's not reassuring.
And they'll keep running because they got to try to catch up to Kanan.
Yeah, and then, so, Varus and Anira, you have landed down there, and you saw this creature withdraw with Zelene on one of its talons at the end of this long hallway here. I believe you can see that.
Yeah.
It's just at the edge of the vision, yeah.
At the very least, I can see that, but I have both Sirius and Varus, so I don't know who's seeing what.
Yeah, if you click on the token and hit Control L, it'll tell you.
Oh.
At least that's how it works for me. It may not work that way for you. But anyway,
Nope.
so,
Nope.
Kanan, you have made it up to this creature, and you see it now. It's horrifying, really like thin, papery skin stretched over bone and muscle. Just kind of, and there are spots where it's tearing open and through. You see the muscles just flexed and tense. You can see all the tendons and ligaments in its body, and it's just horrifying, like cacklingly laughing skull atop this figure. It stands maybe 15, 20 feet tall. These long talons covered in blood stretching out towards the bottom, and it moves on similar talons for its legs, although you can't see due to the long cloak that's covering it from the waist down. What would you like to do?
Okay, as I'm running up to it and I see it here-ish, or back while I'm in the room where Zarius is, I'm gonna say I can reach it. So she's gonna run, see how massively tall it is, try to jump onto this podium.
It's a pillar
what
that
it
goes
is?
from top to bottom, basically. I just didn't want to block
Oh.
it because it'd destroy the whole view of the room.
Okay, so never mind about that. So she'll run around the pillar and try to run up him with her dagger,
Okay.
and attack him
Okay.
while doing so.
All right. Sounds great. As you approach, you get maybe 15 feet. You get within about 15 feet, so I'm actually going to move you back. One of these talons, just faster than you thought possible, pierces out towards you. Does a 27 hit?
Yes.
You take 7 points of piercing damage as this talon just punctures through your shoulder and yanks you closer to itself. You're now about 10 feet away.
Okay, so
you can attack the talon if you'd like to, but it's a high DC, is all. Or high AC, I guess.
yank towards it. I'm gonna instead, I guess, pull myself further onto the talon and try to attack something meatier.
Okay. Yeah, so you take
I'm
another...
using that rule.
Yeah, you take another 7 points of
If I
piercing
can.
damage as you pull this
Okay.
talon through yourself. But you're now within 5 feet, and you can make a strike.
Okay. Would you like me to re-roll that?
No, you're good. We'll take that. Sorry, I just didn't see it. Okay. 19 hits. So you slash forward with the dagger, trying to, get a good solid hit on this thing, and you manage to strike true. Although, again, the poison doesn't seem to have an effect in this case.
That's okay. Do I still get a second attack?
Yeah. Yeah, this is your turn. We'll go back to turn order here, so.
Okay.
At 20. Nice. Yeah, Moonlight's gone.
Spiritual Guardians is 10 minutes, so
Yeah, you're good
it's
for
up
that.
to you. Okay.
Yeah, this has just been a quick, like, minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes walking around.
I figured, but I just want to give that up to you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so Kanan, you strike, you get a solid hit right, and you crack through a couple of the ribs on the creature, and it kind of shrieks this horrid, dry, just noise, and kind of recoils and pushes you backwards with its talon, like extends its arm out away from itself to hold you out, moving you back another 10 feet.
Okay, but on that strike, I'm spending a key point to stunning strike.
Okay, yeah. Let me mark off the damage real quick.
The key save is 16.
16 con save, right?
Yes.
Okay. It is not stunned.
Sucks.
But,
Okay,
yeah, anything else you'd like to do?
that's it.
Okay. Creature's going to use a legendary action. And, you are not within 5 feet because it pushed you away. So, you do not suffer the effects of this, and then you see again the creature vanish before your eyes.
Am I no longer impaled?
You are no longer impaled. So, that is it for Kanan's turn, unless there's anything else you wanted to do.
Nope.
Okay. Next up is Zarius. From where you were, you could also see this creature just, the whole thing with Kanan just happened, and then,
Yeah.
yeah, it vanished.
Also see those guys, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's just been walking up behind you.
Awesome. Love that. Okay. Do I want to do this? Zarius is going to run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 over to here, kind of peek around this corner into that doorway. I guess I'll use his action dash. 5, 10, 15. Was this the door right here?
Yeah, it's a door right there. That little inlet.
Okay. Yeah, can you see if you can open the door?
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you turn the handle, and the door opens.
Okay,
Let me
so
remove
let's
the
step.
lighting here real quick.
Yeah. 15, 20, 25, 30, and he still can't see anything. He's still like, it's not in here immediately, but the pathway goes on. And that'll be his turn.
Okay, yeah, what you see from right there, since Zarius is a pretty observant guy, you see it looks like there used to be a bridge going across this space in front of you, but since when, you don't know, but the bridge has collapsed. So there are just the remnants of a bridge that used to go across that pathway. But you can't see the ravine there, but you know the bridge is absent.
Yeah.
And Varus has about a minute, 2 minutes left on fly.
Okay.
Next up is Enira.
Yeah, first step is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. That's about as far as I can get. And so I can see Kanan, and I'm gonna bonus action. I would have put away, let me look at the or if you let go of the weapon, would it be considered letting go of the quarterstaff if I put it away to do something else?
Yeah, you're letting
Okay, so
it out of your hands.
Yeah, bonus action shillelagh my quarterstaff and then hold my action in case something comes near me so I can whack it.
Okay, sounds great.
That's my turn.
All right, next up is Harriet. Harriet, what would you like to do?
All right. So I was off the map when Zarius ran it. Did he go up
Yeah, he went up.
this way?
Up and to
Okay.
the right, yeah.
Because there's that guy behind me, but if we're running this way, then... Move. And I'm assuming it's 17. Is that where? I guess I wouldn't have seen that part.
Yeah, and you know Zarius ran up and to the right, right?
Like this way.
No, sorry, straight ahead from...
Or-
Sorry, directly
okay.
to the right. I'm going of where the
Okay.
characters are looking.
Yeah,
So-
sorry. Harriet is actually just running in circles. She just turned the corner,
You
really
can probably
disoriented.
see little spirit guardians flying in this doorway too.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
yeah.
That way. Okay, and I guess. Since we're kind of in between the creature showing up and Harriet doesn't have anyone immediately that she wants to hit, she's gonna hold an attack with the heavy crossbow if the taloned creature shows up.
Okay, got it. All right.
Gosh,
Next
serious?
up is Varus.
Varus is going to use his fly speed of 60 feet to get right there.
Okay.
And then, okay, I don't know how fly works. Can you use your action to dash on top of that with the same fly speed? Or
I would say yeah. It
Okay,
just
'cause it
becomes
just
your movement
says-
speed, right?
Yeah,
flying
it says
speed
the
of 60
target.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So he's gonna fly another 60 feet. Ooh. And he's gonna get right there, I think it was.
Okay.
And kind of look around. No, I don't see the creature, but there's a big ravine here.
Yeah. What you see is the cliffside or the ravine there is about 40 feet down, so 30 to 40 feet down. It'd be an intimidating drop if you were to just fall. You could easily break a leg, break an arm, something like that. Even you all can break bones and limbs and things. But you do see, yeah, the gap is maybe like 10 feet, 20 feet across. Depending on, how sturdy the ledges are, you may want to jump a little further than that. But yeah, you don't see any evidence of the creature having gone that way or anything else. One thing I forgot to mention, and I apologize, got a lot going on, is that as you all pass through this large room to the left where you first engaged everyone, you all noticed there was, like I said, a bunch of storage stuff. There's a desk with a bunch of papers, all those kinds of things in it in that space. So I just forgot to mention that earlier. I have it in a note. My bad. But yeah, anything else for Varus?
Nope.
Okay. So we'll go back to, yeah. So this guy is just gonna sort of meander around, and that's all it for his turn. So you don't know where the creature is. Varus's fly is faded by now,
Okay.
just so you know.
No. I would take, yeah, go ahead.
So, you all have explored this space a little bit. You've seen Zelene sort of been toyed with. What would you all like to do?
Still in turn order or no?
Yeah, we can go out of turn order. I mean, unless you all want to do something specific, like you want to dart a certain direction or you really want to drive somewhere specific. Otherwise, it kind of just freeform it until there's, an immediate need.
Xeris would probably join Varus up here over this cliffside.
Okay.
Or up the cliffside. Just trying to look to see if there's a way to get across or something like that, but
Yeah.
it doesn't really look like, aside from just jumping. But if it's 20
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah, that's the only way to get across is either jump or fly. But
Yeah.
the cliff,
Fly.
the actual edge looks like where they built the bridge into has crumbled, so the actual very edge of it looks really unstable.
Gotcha.
Do we just wait until this thing graces us with its presence again?
Well, if we wait here for a couple of seconds, I can run like I did again, and attack it. I seem to catch up to it. It seems to have stayed in the same area.
Seems to be leading us on some sort of a goose chase, or trying to lure us somewhere.
Well, if it's luring us by keeping Zelene somewhat alive, I guess we can keep playing its games. We don't really have a choice.
Plus, isn't it that Zelene can't die unless, by a silvered thing? So if I smacked her real good with my quarterstaff.
I don't know. where rats work, really.
And if it's trying to lure us, it might come back if we don't follow. Might.
Varus will say, I mean, I can just jump over this.
That's great for you, Varus.
It doesn't look that far. We can continue looking.
Well, I don't think it went that way. I mean, the door was closed. It seems to have stayed in places where doors were open.
What did you all see in that hallway as you were walking up? Varus and I were down here.
Which hallway?
The one when we split up, when me and Varus went down into the slots and you went through that hallway with the door.
I mean,
another
just the
zombie or
same
two.
as we saw walking through.
There's another zombie or two over there, which we should probably go take care of so it doesn't bite us in the back later. And Zarius will meander back this way.
Okay.
To go
Slowly,
find,
casually go fight his own.
yeah, just go find the dude that was over here, maybe, if he's still here. Oh, he's gone. Oh god, that's terrifying.
Just went to lunch.
It's like losing a spider in your house where you don't know where they went.
A spider, but it's got massive talons and has someone impaled.
So, what are y'all doing?
I say we do the same thing and split up. And I'll run and try to maybe throw it to the ground, hold it down or something.
But where is it?
Well, I don't know. I found it last time.
I think it might have found
I got
you
this
last
nice
time.
little thing. Well, it just showed up and I tried to pounce on it, but it just kind of impaled me. Without my consent.
That's
mind
not reassuring on us letting you go out. You hear that? Just come here. We're waiting. You know, bearing audience. It's really not polite.
you. Well, I mean, we've been through worse. Like a dragon, per se.
Just
Zarius
because we've
probably
been
has,
through
like,
worse doesn't mean this is
3
grand.
minutes left on Spirit Guardians.
Got
Maybe
a couple minutes left, yeah, maybe a minute or 2 minutes.
minute or two. Okay. He's gonna walk down to these doors.
Okay.
Maybe like slowly open one on one side.
Okay,
Peek
which one do
inside.
you want to open first?
Let's do this one. His right currently.
Yeah.
And he'll like kind of.
You crack the door open and you see on the ground just the remains of a disseminated corpse, like, you know, just sort of ripped apart. You know, okay, this is the work of my spirit guardians. You've seen it enough times. It was something in there. It was definitely trying to kill you, but it's just is a corpse at this point. Yeah.
Then going back and forth a couple times. He'll open the one on the other side.
Yep.
And just
Same thing.
Kind of slowly sweep through these
Okay.
doors just to make sure there's no like.
Open them all, yeah. Yeah, and you see
Yeah.
in each one, there was one zombie, and then in this larger chamber, there was several skeletons and a zombie. But
Okay.
you also notice that these were like individual rooms, so there's a bed in there. They didn't look like holding cells, just like really simple sleeping quarters, basically. You spend enough time in large cities, you recognize this is kind of like in soldiers' garrisons. Oftentimes they'll have hotbeds, so like it's not your bed, it's everybody's bed. So you go and you sleep when you're not on shift, and then someone else sleeps when they're not on shift. That's what it looks like here.
Okay. He'll go just a little further down to where they were,
Okay.
and maybe poke his head into here.
Okay. There is a door, but there's also just a giant hole in the wall. So you can step
there's a
through the
hole.
hole in the wall if you'd like to, or go through the door. It's up to you.
Oh, yeah, he'll step through the hole in the wall. Why not?
All right. You see in there just a large office. It's like it's large comparatively. So you see there's a desk in the corner, a bookshelf, and in the desk there's a ton of just papers all over the place. A ton of it looks like letters, and there's a bunch of papers. There's a stack of. Sorry, let me actually find my description here. Yeah, you see on the wall there's actually looks like a large supply cache of armor and weapons. Just basic stuff, but it's armor and weapons. They were at one point nicely organized. You see like the hooks for each set of armor and each weapon set. You also see a few more storage caches of like food and things that have gone bad at this point. As well as like clothing. Most of it is like rotted through. But you notice On the desk, there's a journal, and then sticking out of one of the drawers is like a stack of papers. But you notice a bloody thumbprint on one of the papers that's protruding.
So he'll grab the journal and just pocket it, and then he'll maybe give the paper with the thumbprint just a quick look over.
Okay. Yeah, you reach to grab it, and it's a stack of papers. So you can,
okay.
I mean, you could choose to grab just one if you want to, but...
So look... he might just grab the stack and stuff it in his pouch somewhere. Like, not read them right now, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm assuming it's probably right about now that Spirit Guardians fades or something.
Yeah, right about now. Yeah, I mean, you kind of took a brief look around the room, so I'd say it's taken about a minute.
Just go ahead and turn it off.
There's never a bad time to start reading, okay?
Well, he's going to bring him back to the group, was his thought. So he'll go back, and unless everyone else has done something while he's been in there, I don't know.
Yeah, Kanan's just gonna start running around. She'll just say, Harriet, I'm sorry. I just gotta find her. And she'll give a...
do you want me to be back here, Matt?
A bardic inspiration to you.
Okay.
So, Harriet, you have bardic inspiration.
Okay. Is that a D8?
Okay.
Zarius will turn on it and just start fighting with the sword.
No.
Okay.
1 second.
Sorry,
it's just a D6.
Kanan, you kind of got a little ahead of things. So yeah, Zarius, as you were leaving, make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Oh, okay. Worm.
Yeah, a worm has landed onto your back.
No!
As you turn around leaving. So, and then Kanan, you're giving Harriet a D8, and you're gonna go look around.
A D6.
D6. Okay, D6 inspiration.
Physically hands me a dice in the middle of the game.
Here you go.
For good luck.
All right, I guess we'll enter turn order then, since we're going to split the party, because otherwise there's no way to reliably do this. All right, so Kanan, where are you headed to?
Down south.
Okay. Have we gone up this direction? You have not. No. It's a kind of a wider path, but it looks natural. It doesn't look like it was carved. It looks like they just used the convenience of this location.
It's 55. She's gonna feline agility, because we've been standing there for a while. Mm-hmm. And just head up that direction.
All right.
And that's it. She'll just end her turn there.
Okay, sounds great. Kanan's going off on her own. All right, next up is Zarius.
Zarius is gonna use his action to deworm. Maybe like, could it count as an attack if he stabs it?
It's just an action to remove it.
Okay.
So you just gotta like brush it off, basically.
Okay. Cool. And then,
as you brush off the worm using your action, it gains a fair amount of activity and launches from you onto Anira. Anira, make a dexterity saving throw.
No.
Oh no.
13. Anira, you're just too quick for this worm, and you slap it out of the air. It lands on the ground and withers. Okay, Zarius, what would you like to do?
He's just gonna... he'll just move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kind of get back to the central room. And then, seeing that Harriet's here, I'd be like, oh, Harriet, I found some papers that look like they might be important. I don't know if right now is really the time for reading, but it might help us find something out. And I'll pull him out, but
Okay.
that'll be his turn.
Okay. So
Oh,
take
also,
out.
as he's walking by Anira, be like, oh, there's another one right there, by the way.
Okay. And you're pulling out the journal or the papers?
The papers,
are
probably.
okay. Papers are a lot more accessible.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds great. Next up is Anira. Go ahead.
Is there a worm still like on the ground?
No. As soon as it hit the ground, it withered and died.
Can I smash it with my quarterstaff just to be sure?
Yeah, if you'd like to. Yeah.
Just like with the butt
Yeah.
of my
Yeah.
quarterstaff.
You just.
It's a
Yeah.
20.
That's easy enough. Yeah. I think it's got like an 8
Just in
AC
case.
or a 6 or something. So yeah, it's a 6 AC. So.
Okay. And then just kind of just like, ugh, and walk towards everyone too. 5,
Okay.
10, 15, 20, 25. And that's just there where I am.
All right, and I would say since you were all there in that space kind of at the same time, you also could look at the papers if you'd like to, if Harriet is going to, because Zarius pulled the papers out and handed them to Harriet. So I would say as you're walking up, if that's what Harriet wants to do, you could also do that. But next up is Harriet.
Yeah, because there's no worms to attack at the moment, and we're kind of in this. Harriet's just like on edge. Like, what else am I supposed to do? Kanan, fine, I'll read some literature right now.
Okay.
Like,
I'll look over her shoulder.
Okay.
yeah,
All right, so
she's
you-
just like, you know that when your kid like hands you an arts and crafts that's like, I made this, and you're like, right now, like, thanks, but okay, I guess I'll go put it on the fridge. That's like, okay, we'll read this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, as you kind of pull the stack together and shuffle them together to kind of make sense of it, you see they look like they were written very erratically. Like they were written by someone who was very intense. They were very either nervous or anxious. There was a lot going on as they were writing these. And there's a lot of them that have just like blood smears across whole pages that have dried. They look fairly old. It seems like as you kind of look through, filtering through these things, it seems like a series of like diary-like entries. Not quite necessarily diaries, but just that style of... Sorry, I'm switching screens all the time. That style of entry. You're not quite sure what it is or who wrote them, but as you're flipping through, one entry reads, "We were just sitting, drinking tea and planning logistics. Then Heron's chest burst open with 2 long talons. They broke through the table and sent our papers flying. I saw an inventory report for barrels of wheat flour pass by my face, and the next moment, Heron was pulled from the room screaming. The rest of us grabbed our weapons and pursued, but we were beset by the dead. Worms, bone, screeching death surrounds us, but we fight on. This tyrant cannot be allowed to continue his work, and we cannot be stopped by his agents." There are other entries if you'd like to read other ones as well. I mean, that's like you're reading these, they're fairly short, so it's not like it takes you ages to read this.
I mean, this is gonna be her whole turn, is just kind of like flipping through some of these things, and
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so you find another entry. It says, it's later in the stack. It says, "We've been hunting this beast for 2 days in the dark. It strikes from the shadows and vanishes again. 2 of our team have been taken, snatched from our ranks in an instant. Ordinary weapons had no effect, and for the size of it, it can move with a terrifying quickness. Each time we injure it, pockets of the dead arise and stop our pursuit. But we will kill the beast." You continue looking through. One more entry reads, "KL is gone, and Jathan too. We'd cornered the beast and I thought we'd had it, but when I felt a chill, like a person, but somehow empty, cold. Their faces were stretched and drawn out, eyes sunken back into their skulls, the life drained from them. I turned to fight this new threat and the beast vanished. Turns out the Bodak have indeed escaped from the mines. Tali's radiant light blasted it to nothing. I just hope it's useful against the beast." As you go through the last entry that you find that's legible and not just covered in blood, it says, "We finally killed it. A bone claw, apparently. In the end, it was just me and Tali, but we killed it. Tali heard the name of it from her guardian angel before she burned her eyes out in a fit of rage. I never trusted Apollodux. I was catching my breath, resting, finding survivors, and taking stock of what we had. It's all for nothing. The beast returned. It couldn't have been more than a day, and the thing is back strong as ever. It ripped Tally in two before I could even react and got me through the leg. I hope whoever finds this has better luck than I did. I'm not making it out of this cave. If you're reading this, killing it will only buy you time. It comes back.
Well, Harriet's gonna look up from that and go, I'm not sure if waiting around to fight this thing is a possibility. This is an old thing. It's been fought before.
Do we even have a chance of getting Zelene?
I don't know.
Varus run up at this point, or
Yeah.
very cool.
I'd say Vars could have been there and heard that as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Harry, anything else that you'd like to say or do on your turn? Okay.
No.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't hear.
No, I had to think about it. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're fine. So, all right, next up is Varus.
So is that his movement to get here, or?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Yeah, that's fine. That would be
Okay.
his movement to get there.
Cool.
We'll just say it happened before so
Yeah.
you can hear.
All right. Then he'll okay, well, what are we doing then? We've got to find it to get Celine. And where's Kanan?
Kanan ran somewhere. I think looking for it.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can go find her, and he'll use his action to dash like 45 feet this way.
Okay.
I gotta actually measure 45 feet. Because 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31, 40, 45. He gets right there.
And what
And
you
he
see as he comes around the corner is this wormy-filled body just tumble out from between the pillars and splat on the ground. The worms just, kind of ricocheting across the dirt, and the body is dead. But
Not again.
the worms just kind of burrow into the ground and disappear. Anything else for Varus?
He can kind of see Kaden, so he's comfortable with that. So he'll end his turn.
Yeah, he does around the corner and sees Kanan running. I assume running, right, Kanan? Yeah. Okay. Running down this this open. It looks like it was carved maybe with water or something like that at one point. Maybe there's a river or something. But yeah, through this little ravine. All right. So next up is Kanan.
Radio. Kanan's gonna see there's nothing up this way. The path looks really narrow, and I don't think the thing can fit through that.
It's wide enough for you to fit through. And this creature is tall. It's large, but it's also very thin. So it could turn. I mean, you've seen this thing disappear in front of you. So maybe it could, maybe it couldn't. It's tall enough to fit through there. The area is. I mean, it's a deep ravine.
Yeah.
So, okay.
I just don't have a feeling it's up there. So she's gonna run back down.
Okay.
To there. And then she's gonna dash. You said this here was 30 feet or 25?
Yeah, about 25-ish feet. Yeah, about 25 up. So.
Okay, so 15,
Yeah, you can make it up there.
40. Okay, so she'll just run to the top of that.
Okay.
I think there,
All right.
and then hang out.
Okay. Sounds great. Next up is Zarius. What would you like to do?
Zarius is I missed where Kanan went.
Down left.
Okay. Did you say when he was down in like this area? I don't know if you can see my marker or not, but when he was down in that area, was there? I can't remember. Was there another way to go down there, or did it kind of look like it just ended in that room? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm fairly certain it's not that way, and he'll kind of just gesture in that general direction.
Okay.
That's where I came from, so my best guess is probably across that ravine that Varus and I were standing at. Maybe I'll go see if pretty sure there's not a way across. He's just saying this out loud.
Okay.
To Harriet and Amira.
Okay.
And he'll walk over there 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you all are heading to rejoin as a group, then we can go out of turn order and just kind of do it, more free. But if you all want to are staying separated, then we'll stay separated.
Yeah, Kanan will join the group.
Okay. Sounds great.
Yeah, Varus will head back too.
Let me find the group screen. Why is it not working? There we go. Okay. And I can move you up there, Kanan, if you'd like. Oh, you got it. Okay.
So, since we're here together, Zaria's found some papers here. I've read a few of them. They're from very scared people who fought something here. It seems like it might be what we're fighting here as well. I'm not ready to leave Celine yet, but if there's a way we could maybe remove her from the creature and get out, I don't know, but that's all.
I don't know if we can even find her. How would we get her off without killing the beast, which we know is next to impossible? Or killing her.
I think we can get it temporarily. If we can get her out of here, I might be able to bring her back, even if she's gone.
It's worth a shot.
She's our only connection to these groups that we need to help defeat Tadriel. We need her.
No,
We
she
can't
needs
just
us.
leave her.
She's been abandoned too much anyways. We can't do that to her.
And she's in charge of this whole group. I mean, they have nowhere to go without her.
No, I don't know if it's this creature's getting around like, Varus can, where he can disappear and appear somewhere else, or what, but I just came from over there. There was the office where I found the papers. I didn't see the creature. The only way I know to go is over that ravine, but it's quite the jump, and it doesn't look like it'll be pleasant if you miss.
Well, how far across is it?
Matt, you said it was like 15, 20 feet.
Yeah. Just the end is a little uncertain. It looks a little rough, so it could crumble if you try to step off at the very end.
Yeah.
So safely, it's a 20-foot jump.
I could try and just carry us over in my way that I do.
What?
You've seen me shift, right?
Well, I've seen you turn into animals.
Yeah. If I
But a
become...
bird's not going to be able to carry us.
I did it in the canyon with the stone giant.
Oh, that's right.
It's a talon ride. It's not quite comfortable, but I can...
And-
Well,
go.
I was...
Room-wise, too.
How big is the surrounding, room?
And Ira hasn't gone to
Okay.
take a look yet.
Okay. Can I just, poke my head in? Is it just, right here?
It's at the end. It's over this way. Yeah.
Yeah, so
You can
over
head.
there.
Okay.
Yeah, you can head down there. There's enough room for everyone to stand around at the end there. So if you
Yeah.
want to, you can move yourself
Okay.
down there.
Yeah.
I will carefully, so I don't have a body fall on me. Is this, the right here?
Let me look here. Yeah, so that's the edge.
Okay.
You do see the ravine goes down, but as far as like side to side, this is fairly open, but it would be a tight fit for a bird. I mean, remember, you got to flap your wings to actually get lift. It'd be pretty tight to do that. If you were a helicopter, you'd be a little more okay. But
I'd like to shift into a helicopter.
Kanan's gonna, while Naira is checking that out, she's just gonna look at Zarius and say, I have some rope, and it's not the easiest to cross, but if one of us gets on the other side, two of us can hold it so that the others can climb across. If maybe that's easier.
Find something to tie it to, yeah. That might be a good idea.
It's only like, I think they're only like 30 feet.
the rope's 50 feet.
Yeah.
50 feet.
rope.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I personally think the best candidates would be either you or Varus. And Varus will pipe up. I mean, I can do it. I could, even if I miss, I can just fly. Be my last use of it, but...
Well, I can just climb down and then climb up the rocks.
That's a good idea, Kanan.
Okay. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So yeah, Kanan, you carefully climb your way down. No check needed because you're a monk and you're a tabaxi. And it's like about a 30-foot drop by the time you get down there. The ravine at that point is wide enough for you to walk forward, so you can walk with your shoulders not touching the edges. It'd be a tight fit for that creature to try to do the same. It probably wouldn't be able to, but if it like shimmied, you could see it walking through there.
Are you telling me I feel like it's gone through there?
No, I'm just saying, based on your perception of the size of this creature, it could have passed through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mambo number 6
That's
creature vision,
lame.
yeah. But otherwise, yeah, there's not a lot of places to secure the rope. It's all stone. You could hammer it down if you had a python or a pike or something like that. You could stick it in, but otherwise one of you is going to have to hold it on the other side.
Yeah. On the other side where Kanan just like climbed down and climbed up to?
Yeah.
Or Zaris was thinking maybe he'd look around in this room to see if there was something that he could...
Oh, sure, yeah. There's a bunch of tables and furniture and stuff in there. I mean, you could just anchor it to one of those things.
Yeah, he might
pull it across the doorway.
Yeah, exactly. Flip a table, pull it across the doorway, so it's like this. So it's got, pulling up. And then that gives us... The rope would be a little short on the other side, but someone will have to hold it on this side.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. Kanan's good holding it.
Okay.
She'll just say, don't go too hard and help me hold it when you're over here.
All right. Varus, you want to go first? And Varus will kind of, shimmy across.
Okay. Kanan, you go on the other side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like an athletics check?
What kind of checks do you want?
So I was just waiting for the tokens to update. So, Kanan, as you were holding this rope, you're going to do an athletics check. The other thing, make a... with enough of you, it's not like you're trying to rush through this. There's no need to do a check on the table, right? You're taking your time to make sure that the knots are secure. So yeah, Kanan is going to do an athletics check, and then whoever's crossing will do a dexterity, or athletics or acrobatics, their choice.
So Varus will do probably acrobatics if I had to guess, but let me look at his thing.
Yeah, Varus would do acrobatics.
Am I blind? Where is acrobatics? Perception.
I think he's got like a +8.
I've looked through this.
+9.
Oh, it's +9. There it is. It's the first one. Oh, God! That one.
Varus very confidently
What have you
leaps
done?
on top of the rope to try to tight walk it. And as he gets about midway, Kanan, you feel that rope slipping. And it's coming out of your hands. You try to get your claws into it, and you manage to, but not before it dips down and Varus loses his balance and falls down the ravine.
Varus, damn it, I told you to take it easy.
Jevin watching this.
Sorry!
Varus
He
takes
is watching
12
too.
points of bludgeoning damage as he falls and lands on his wrist, and Varus feels a sharp pain in his wrist.
No!
Oh,
His second attacks will have a penalty. So like every turn, if he attacks the first time, takes the second attack, they'll have a penalty.
Okay.
Get that man a wrist brace.
So
He's down there now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
We'll just have to drop the rope when everyone's across. Next lightest person, Anira.
Okay.
Moving,
I
kids.
feel bad just leaving him, but okay.
He'll be fine down
I'm
there for
fine.
the next 2 minutes.
All right.
He dramatically fell too. It's probably like this down there. Like, oh no!
Right.
Broken something.
He did like feather fall, so he's just like slow motion, like oh no.
Kanan,
Fetch watching this,
you're feeling tired holding this rope. It's slipping a little bit. You get pulled forward 5 feet, so I'm gonna move you respectively. But Anira's quick enough on the rope, holding onto it to make her way across very quickly.
And I will now help hold it.
Okay.
Thank
Perfect.
you, Anira.
Okay.
I'll
And
like
can we
sit on
back-
the end of it, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, there's a thing. I'm gonna stay right here.
You step
Will
there
I make it with?
as Anira rounds the corner, getting ready to
I
sit
love
down. A groan, just a zombie goes to slam at you. It's a 16 hit.
It does not.
Okay, yeah, it
an
swings
AC
down with both
17.
arms, just trying to clobber you. But
Ah!
what would you like to do?
Now I'm gonna move back.
Okay. I mean, you have time to like take an action too.
Well, I don't. Can I guess because I put down my. Can I coordinate to Chef Shillelagh and then boop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just like a
Yeah. 19 hits for sure. You smack it for 6 damage. Nice. All right.
And now I'm like, help.
Scooting away. Okay.
Kana's just gonna be like, just wait a second, and she'll go onto the other side of Anira.
Here, I'll hold on to the rope.
There we
Like
go.
no one climb across, but I'll hold on to the
Okay.
rope.
And hit it with her quarterstaff real quick.
Okay. Yeah. You smack it, and you get this just sort of wet slap with your quarterstaff as it kind of... You feel bones crunch underneath, but the thing is still standing there groaning and shuffling around. Still undead.
Oh, it's still... Oh, second attack then.
Okay. That's enough to put it down.
Okay. Just pulverize it.
All right.
And Kanan's gonna yell, guys, we have a bit of a predicament over here, and I realize the rope is tied on that end. So Varus needs to get up on that end. So she's gonna just take the rope from Anira and throw it down for Varus.
No, you could. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Arius just gonna look over at Zarius, like, put a hand on his shoulder, like,
We could have just cut the rope.
Kanan's not that smart.
No, it's fine. No, Zarius, like, as you dropped it down to Varus, he's like, wait. Okay.
All right, so
Look
Varus
over
is
the
climbing
edge.
back up. There's no check needed. I mean, Varus is an acrobatic enough guy. He can climb a rope.
Can
even with the
Varus-
broken wrist.
Would Varus be able to climb up on their side? Like, without the rope? Just out of spite or no, with the wrist?
Well, have him make a dexterity, just an acrobatics check. See if he can he's going to try to run and, like, jump from thing to thing, you know, jump back and forth along
Okay.
this, so. We'll see if he can manage. 17. Do one more acrobatics check.
Okay. Stay.
24. He grabs the rope and is, like, you know, pretending like he's going to climb up, and you all know Varus well enough, you see him pull with that wrist and just kind of wince in pain, let go with the wrist and back up a bit, and then pretend like he's going to climb the rope, run and use it for leverage to pull himself up, leap from side to side to side, and catch just on the edge here, standing almost tipping backwards, catching himself and leaning forward back on their side.
Doing a little
Harriet!
bow.
Oh, my
Harriet will look
goodness.
over at Zarius and go,
Yep.
you
that's
know,
fine. Yeah, that's...
you and I, good luck.
You know, actually, I'm going to... And then he'll go to the edge and, like, take the time to pull the rope up. And
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to throw this. Please catch it. I don't want to do that again.
Okay.
And he'll like just try to throw the rope over to the other side.
Okay. I
I
would
think
say,
Varus is closest.
yeah, I would say if Kanan is near the edge as well, she can catch arrows out of the air. Has no problem catching a rope
Yeah.
tossed from 10 feet away. So if Kanan is going towards the edge,
Yeah, I just don't want
Not the
to.
dramatic music happening right after.
Varus will move over here,
okay,
Here we go.
kind of like holding his wrist.
okay, all right.
Watch me spin a key point and throw it back.
Do
Let's deflect
it.
rope.
Just deal damage with a rope.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Cowboys areas.
Crack.
So who's going next?
Well, here goes.
So is this athletics at advantage, or
Yeah.
are they also going to roll?
Varus
Yeah, the athletics at
Varus will help hold
advantage
the rope.
for you on your side, and Zarius, it'll be acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Varus will do acrobatics.
Okay, nat
No
20.
need.
You all have that
Okay,
rope secured.
King.
You're watching very carefully. Zarius, you start to step across, and it's a little wobbly for you on your end, just because you're uncertain. But you
Yeah.
quickly gain confidence seeing your friend standing there and manage to cross fairly quickly without real issue.
All right, and then he'll hop on the end of the rope
Okay.
and help pull it tight.
Okay. And then Harriet. So everyone on your side again. Kanan, go ahead and make it an athletics check with advantage. 23, nice. And Harriet, athletics or acrobatics?
This is bad. I'm adding the ins.
Okay.
Or I'm probably just gonna add it, but we'll see. Oh no!
D6.
Oh no!
Harriet,
Darius took it all from me.
as you begin to cross the rope, you're kind of like really nervous. This is a rope holding you up, and you look down and you look up at your friends to gain some confidence. But what you see coming up behind Zarius is this sunken, shallow face with empty eyes and a stretched mouth.
Oh no!
And it just terrifies you. Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
18. You don't instantly die, and instead
Okay.
take 16 points of psychic damage.
16 or 6D?
16, 1-6.
Okay.
As you tumble and fall down from the edge, falling into this ravine, you take 11 points of bludgeoning damage and make a
Okay.
dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy, y'all.
$18, great. You manage to not break your arm as you fall.
Small
but you land
victories.
hard on the dusty floor on the bottom, dust kicking up around you. The wind knocked out of you momentarily. But you're at the bottom of this ravine. You've got the rope in your hand. Or I guess you
I've
would have
still
fallen
got
off of it.
it!
I guess you would have fallen off of it because they had a pretty good grip. So,
No, I don't have it. Never mind.
sorry. But the rest of you see Harriet look horrified at you all and then fall. What would you all like to do?
Hey, drama queen. She's.
Um,
Can I, because it's latched on the other side, so I don't know what's behind Zarius. I'm focused on Harriet. So,
Darius doesn't. Are we in initiative again, or?
I mean, we'll go through what each of you wants to do, and then we'll start the initiative.
Okay.
I can run across and, or I can climb down with Harriet and help her up, Anira. I'll see if she's okay.
Okay. So, Kanan, you're heading down there.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great. No problem for you. You easily just traverse down the side of this thing, no problem. And you see Harriet on the ground, dusty, but relatively unscathed. Right? Not as bad as it could have been. Falling 30 feet's a rough thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast a Cure Wounds real quick on her.
Okay.
So,
Are you down near me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something behind Zarius.
What? Try to heal?
Does Zarius hear that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Echoes off the cavern.
Zarius was in the middle of reaching forward to cast Cure Wounds on Varus.
She's like traumatized. Like she sits right up.
So
There's something behind
he's
him.
gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay.
At second level. So Varus gains
Harriet, you get
13.
3 points healing.
Woo!
3 points of healing
Um,
damage.
Yeah. And then Zarius, I don't know.
You got enough
yeah,
time for a
he's
bonus
just-
action, basically. So
Okay, he'll turn around, and
Okay.
not knowing to avert his eyes, he'll look at the thing and probably get hurt.
make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, and he does not have enough health for this. 18.
18. You save from this other effect. You take no damage.
Insta death. Oh, okay.
You look, and for a moment, it's like staring into the abyss. The rest of the world begins to fade away from you, and you see nothing at all. You feel totally isolated from your friends, completely alone. And this piercing, fiery light punctures through the darkness and scatters it in front of you. And you feel the warmth in the scars on your shoulders, and your vision returns to normal, and you focus
Sweet guys.
on this creature in front of you. Fire burning inside of you. You're ready to strike. You get an extra action this turn.
See, guys,
You
she's
can
not
cast a
that
spell.
bad.
You can do whatever you want. You got basically
I
a full
never said
turn.
she was bad.
Zarius will go ahead and kind of move. Can he, like a full turn?
Yeah,
Like
basically
move
a
to,
full
or-
turn. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna skirt around it and attempt to just stab it in the back, I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attacks.
Oh, that's not Zarius. This is Zarius. Too many character sheets.
Tell me. About
One.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure.
it. 20.
and then-
Goodness.
He'll go ahead and do 2 with his bonus.
Okay.
And he'll shout out, "Don't look! It's another one."
Oh,
Okay.
baby.
Nice. Yeah. Solid damage on those 2 strikes as you just pierce into this thing through its it's got this large cloak over it, and you're stabbing into a body. You're not quite sure what kind of body, but you're getting hits.
Yeah.
Your sword's coming out bloody.
And then he'll, after that, kind of like look down at the ground and like, I don't know. Does he know if it's like the face or just the whole creature itself that he's not supposed to look at?
Make an intelligence
Does
check.
he know? Okay.
10. You remember the last time you looked at its eyes? It made you feel that way, but this time it just looked at you. Like you didn't look at it, it looked at you. So you're not quite sure.
Okay. Well, he's gonna like not look it in the face, but like keep an eye sort of like on its lower half,
Okay, got it.
just to try to keep tabs on it.
All right, sounds great. And next, since we were in order, we'll go ahead and go Anira. Just I was going left to right on the map there. So Anira, what would you like to do?
Cool. Hearing that don't look, I'll turn around but keep my feet on the dirt
Okay.
and slowly move my eyes until like the bottom is just in my upper peripheral,
Okay. Yeah.
so I
You
can see
just the-
approximately where it is.
Yeah, kind of these lizard-like feet sticking out, almost like Harriet's feet, but this blackened kind of obtuse, really deformed kind of feet.
Okay. And can I moonbeam at its feet at 3rd level?
Yeah. Pew! I think I didn't.
And that's 15 with a DC 16 con save.
All right, 5 feet. Pew. I have to move it out of the way so I can see. Con save. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a fail. Yeah. So as this beam of dim moonlight kind of strikes down from the ceiling onto it, you see its body just evaporate and dissolve underneath the cloak, and the cloak fall gently to the ground, dust scattering at your feet.
Can I look now, do you think? Anyone?
Yeah, it's probably all right. I think it's dead.
I don't know.
Just echoing from the ravine.
All right, so what would you all like to do?
Preemptively, I guess you just use so I can't. I'll wait 6 seconds and then do something.
Well, we'll go through. Varus has a thing he can do if you'd like, George.
Oh.
Otherwise, we can move if he wants to do anything. Otherwise, he can just stay there and hang out.
He'll just kind of move over here.
Okay. Sounds great.
Get out of the way.
Okay. And you do see a door right here that's closed. So this map is not very good at showing me where I put doors, so that's why I'm late on letting you all know, because it doesn't... For some reason, it just blends in very well on this map when I made it. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay, but there's a door at the top of that little square room that you're in. So, Kanan and Harriet, you're down at the bottom of this ravine. They still have the rope up top, held by Anira alone at this point. So...
Oh boy.
Would I have? I guess it can be one hand, like one hand on the rope,
Yeah,
one
it is.
hand on the moonbeam. Okay. So I'm back, and I'll like brace myself.
Okay.
Well, I guess they're just at the bottom of the ravine, and it's tied off to a table. So why would I be still holding it?
You can drop
I'll
it if
drop
you
the
want.
rope. I'll drop the rope.
And the rope falls between you and Harriet, Kanan, down at the bottom.
Yeah,
Well-
Kata's gonna say, I have faith in you, Harriet. We're not gonna go up the other side because you can't jump across the ravine.
No, I can do
But I
some
will-
things. but not
I will
that.
tell you where to step. And
All right.
you're gonna climb up this side.
Are we in,
Give me a second, and she's gonna use second wind real fast.
Okay.
are we in turn order again?
No, you're good.
Or can Zarius walk over there and lower his 50-foot rope?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
That he also
Race.
has.
Yep.
And then step back and sort of hold out a piece of it to Anira and be like, help me with this?
Yeah.
She will hold on to it with you.
All right. So you all can use the
both.
rope if you'd like to. I'll give you advantage on the rolls to get up.
Kana will go up second.
Yeah.
She'll just
easy
climb
peasy.
up the thing, because why not?
Kanan
Are
can
you
run
all
up and down
ready?
twice in
Get
one
up
turn.
first.
Okay. So Harriet, I'll give you advantage if you want to use the rope.
Yes, please.
Okay. So
Very
athletics
much
or acrobatics,
so.
your choice.
Acrobatics, please.
16.
Okay.
Great. So Harriet, you hoist onto the rope, stepping carefully where Kanan tells you to step, and you manage to pull yourself up, finally ascending this ravine.
Oh my goodness. Zarius, you made that look easier. Usually you get to fall right next to me.
Yeah, every once in a while things work out.
Yup, work out.
Good job, Harriet.
She'll get up there. She'll help you hold the rope. Yeah.
Kanan's just gonna climb
Skinny
the
fools.
the cliff.
Oh, never mind. Whatever.
Oh, I'm
Darius is
Kanan.
just
I
gonna-
have claws.
Yeah. Zarius just going to leave his rope there.
I kind of do, but they don't do anything to me, so I don't know about that.
And, hey, Matt, I'm just assuming that Cure Wounds didn't do anything for Varus's wrist, right?
It didn't
I
heal
put a
the
little
wrist.
marker on him.
No.
Figured. Cool. I just wanted to make sure I didn't put the marker on him for now.
Yeah.
Varus will go ahead and try this door over here.
Okay.
Kanan, do you happen to have any more of those bandages? We could give some to Varus. I don't know if you have the extra or not.
Oh, no, I'm fine. This is nothing.
I haven't
Yeah, you say that.
bought any in a while, but I can cut some off, and she'll take the poison out of the dagger, wipe the dagger off. It's clean. Sorry,
Poison
I
bandages?
just listened to a bunch of like
Sorry, what if we did that?
Victorian death.
Is this a
did some
war
horror
crime
thing,
that's
we
about
give
to
people
happen?
poison bandages. Oh no.
That's gonna
I know. I listened to this
Literal war
Victorian
crimes.
death where this lady was like sewing a rent that like a rabid dog bit into her dress, and because she pulled the thread with her teeth, she got rabies and died. So
Okay, we don't want that.
We're about to
not testing it.
literal war crimes.
So she's gonna clean it off and then roll her sleeve up and just unroll everything on her right hand.
Okay.
Cut it off. Put the poison back in. Pop it into her belt. And give it to Zarius.
Roll a D4.
Be like, I don't want to wrap him. A D4.
Yep.
Just how much poison damage is in there?
Oh no.
So somehow, you're not quite sure how, Kanan has managed to pull off 4 feet of wrapping from her arm.
How?
Kanan!
Kanan.
What? How stretchy is that?
I haven't bought it in a long time, and I don't want to cut up the rope, cut it up when I use it, so I just kind of take the whole roll and go for it.
We don't have time to unpack all of that, but we're gonna...
Later, we will, definitely.
But see how clean I still am underneath it.
Yeah, it's
Her fur
very
does look
impressive. Yeah.
Good.
Is there any furniture in this room?
There is not. It's like a lot of like old rags that have kind of rotted. You see some old food scraps, some evidence of rodent waste, but nothing really else in this room.
Just
a
like
small square room.
No like little scraps of
Like-
wood or anything.
Where rodent waste?
No. Just looks like regular
She's
rodent
been
waste.
living here.
Like large rodent. Are you?
Let's see. What do I have?
I'm sure somebody has torches you could use. It's like
Yeah,
a splint.
okay.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking.
Or if anyone
Yeah,
has
so
a
we'll-
medicine kit, that would be the
I have
actual thing to
torches.
use.
Oh, I still have one of those from when, the second time Varus died.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
So a medicine
Zarius
kit
will be,
has
like,
10
pulling-
uses.
Yeah. Zarius is pulling out a torch to start trying to make a makeshift splint for
we
Varus'
said
arm.
DIY.
Moonbeam is probably
Sometimes
gone
we
by now.
forget that
Moonbeam's
we're
gone,
rich
yeah.
adventurers who have stuff, and we
Zarius is
we're
like,
I got
pulling
some.
a torch. He snapped it in
stick.
half over his knee.
Kanan's just gonna be like, I don't know. You can just have this, Zarius.
What? Oh.
And she'll give you the whole medicine kit.
Okay.
Oh. Okay. So probably medicine kit.
Yeah.
Only has 8 uses now.
It's got 8 uses, yeah. Yep. And yeah, it's easy enough to make a splint out of the stuff that's in there. It's also got some extra bandages that you can use that
You better use mine.
but haven't been exposed to zombie gore. But
Not right.
yeah. Yeah, easy enough to make a splint. He's still gonna have a penalty. It's just gonna be -1 instead of -3.
Okay.
So -1
Alright,
to attack rolls with damage for second attacks.
2 attack. Second.
Yeah.
All right.
But you have this door here, and you'll see the path extend down into. It's kind of slopes downward, and where it's clearly constructed, and then at the base here, down this way, you see it returns back to that natural formation. So, from what you've gathered, passing through the different chambers and hallways and stuff in this area, is it's very ingeniously engineered. They use the natural formations where they can, so they don't have to worry about carving anything. But the areas that are reinforced using the natural formations, using stone where they can. So there's a lot of transitions from like their essentially paved areas to natural formations back to paved areas, and this is one of those transition spaces here.
Can Zarius just do a quick look around, see how everyone's looking? Just like help.
Yeah, make a medicine check.
Yep. My character sheet. Here we are. Medicine.
12.
12.
In a good sense, everyone looks okay. They're definitely hurting, but everybody looks okay.
All right,
Nara kind of gives like a half-hearted, like a half smile and a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right, so we can. I mean, are we rushing through this? Do we need to push onwards? I mean, it looked like she was already, gone. And
Well,
what I
that guy
intend.
we were working with, what was his name? Bob. Was his name Bob?
What are you talking about?
That we worked with in Phandalin.
Hermond?
That we went to the mine with the were rats.
Oh man, that's so long ago.
I'm gonna call him Bob or John. His
Bob?
name might have been John.
Sure.
That's
Whoever.
fine. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember,
but he told us that they could only be killed with a silvered weapon.
Or magic, yeah.
Yeah, or magic.
Well, I mean, do we want
There's
to?
a lot of magic happening here.
I mean, maybe hold up in this room and take just a quick breather to gather ourselves. A short rest, if you will. After that, I mean, there's no point in rushing if she's either already dead or can't be killed. We might want to make sure we're in our best shape possible for fighting this thing.
Right. Okay.
All right. Don John Raskin, by the way.
John.
Bob.
Bob. John Bob.
Don John Raskin. Okay, so you're taking a short rest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, sounds great. Go ahead and roll as many hit dice as you would like, up to half, I believe, is the limit. You all gain the benefits of a short rest. And those of you with key points regain those. Warlocks gain spell slots back.
Yes, that's a thing.
Harriet, you can exchange hit dice for sorcery points if you'd like to, according to the rule we had. Up to you.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that at this point. I only used one.
However you want to do it.
The
up
reminder.
to you all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, 7. Oh,
Dang, Zarius really rolling well on the hit dice.
17.
Yeah, right?
Oh my god.
Everybody rolling
27.
great.
2.
27. I can count. 25.
And if I remember, wild shape resets on short rest, right?
Yeah, whatever I don't know. You gotta look at your character sheet.
2,
I believe it does.
1,
Naira.
2.
I think I remember that being because that's how I survived in Corzin's place. Was because short rest I had uses of wild shape again.
Yeah, you regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest.
That's the only reason I survived in Corzin's mansion.
6. And then we'll do like 1d8. There you go. What are you doing, Matt?
Oh, I was looking for the moonbeam.
Oh.
It went away. I got rid of it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because while we were waiting for Harriet to climb up, it probably it's only a minute.
My character's shuffling around.
I'm just gonna put it out so I don't have to keep putting it out, and then I'll just move it to the DM plane.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. So, what all does a warlock get back?
Warlocks get
Yeah.
their spell
Shout out to
slots back.
Brandon.
Is it just the spell shots?
Yeah, spell slots. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Easy enough.
All right. So you all have taken a breath, got yourselves together, and kind of collected yourselves. So you have the rest of this cave system in front of you. What would you all like to do? There's a doorway to the north and a pathway sloping downwards to the south.
Still no footprints, I presume.
Zarius.
No.
Yes.
I know, I don't know how tapped you are. Are you able to, and I don't know if she's still alive or not, would you be able to message her, maybe?
I am very...
I'm guessing you're very tapped, but I thought I'd ask.
Technically, I could, but I have one use of a higher level spell, and I always try to save that in case someone...
It's fine.
bites
Just
the
wanted
dust.
to make sure.
Plus, doesn't that spell not work if they're unconscious? In our experience.
I've never cast it. I don't know.
They probably don't respond, but I'm sure it might get there. I don't know. Never really tried it.
Well, let's not try it now.
No.
So
I
what
guess
would you
we
all
keep
like?
moving forward.
Yeah. Boris will open this door right in front of him here to the north.
All right. Boris will open the door, and immediately an arrow. An arrow.
They were waiting. Sorry.
Ambush.
You're fine. You're fine. Let me find my thing here. Yeah, as soon as the door creaks open. Oh wait, I got a door creak too. Here we go. It's not that big a door, but I just like the dramatics of it. As soon as the door creaks open, an arrow releases, striking at Varus. Does a 21 hit? It does. Varus takes 5 points of piercing damage as the arrow plunges into his upper shoulder.
Hold on. Can he use? I think he's a fighter, right? So he has. Is
All
it
the
parry?
weird stuff.
What is it? Yeah, he has that thing that adds his proficiency to his AC, which would make it not hit. But I don't know what he has to use.
I think it's parry. I think he's got to expend a superiority dice.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay, so he
left.
avoids the damage and he manages to deflect the arrow out of the air from the skeleton archer that fired it. We're going to drop back into initiative order. And
Wait, no, it's not parry.
enter combat.
Oh no, it's defensive duelist. He doesn't need a proficiency die.
Okay. Oh, it's a
Parry is
melee
reducing
attack, though.
damage. What? Oh,
This is a melee
okay.
attack.
Then yeah, he'll take the damage. 5
Okay,
damage.
so 5 points of damage, yeah.
2, 4, 5. I don't know how fighters work.
All right. So the arrow has struck, and you hear from behind you a gentle moaning, just kind of a... And you see down the opposite direction, coming up from the natural pathway that you saw below, a number of shuffling creatures.
They never give up, do they?
Oh, neither have we.
One thing I think is really cool about Soundtail, by the way, shout out to Soundtail, is the sound effects for combat change with the environment. So now all of the voices and hits are echoing as if we're in a cave, which is very cool. Just a small thing, but it's very, very, very cool. Yeah, you see.
Yeah.
I believe this is where... Yep, there we go. Now it's updating. Okay. Yeah, so... and a hand begins to crawl up the pathway towards you. All right, so Kanan, you were first in our initiative order. We're just going to go with the same order, if that's all right with everyone. So what would you like to do?
Where is Kane?
I'm
On
right in the
of
middle.
Serious.
Oh.
That's why you can't see each other.
I was like,
I
what?
see Zarius.
Standing on your shoulders.
I'm not on
I'm like-
top of Zarius.
I'm like looking at the map. I'm like, she's not here.
All right.
Am I
Kanan,
good?
What would you like to do?
Okay, she's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20.
You see another
Fine.
ravine here. It's about the same distance.
Oh. Yeesh. Let me just. 25. You said that little. Is it only the 5 feet here?
It's about 15, so it's a gentle it's a gradient up. So it's like, you know, it's just showing the texture of the map there. So it's about a 15-foot jump. Which Kanan can do.
Can she?
Yeah, I mean, I think
The
you're...
running jump, probably.
Yeah,
I think it's like your dex plus times 5 or something. Or no, that's not it.
you can jump a long way.
Okay. So Kanan's gonna back up another 10 feet, spending 35, and then run and jump.
All right, yeah. Make a dexterity, make an acrobatics check. 25. Easy peasy. Kanan, you back up and you get a good grip, good running start, and you leap across, managing to cross the ravine, land right in front of this skeleton. What do you want to do?
Yeah, she crouches to her haunches and jumps, leaps over, runs up to the guy and hits him with her quarterstaff.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, 20 and 24 both hit for sure. The first hit, you strike, not quite enough to take him down. You knock a few ribs loose, knock an arm off, and the second strike, you manage to defeat this archer.
All right, is there anything in front of me or is this just a dead end?
It's like it's another bridge that goes across. This one's still in place. It's a stone bridge this time, and you can see. Oh, sorry, is that
Up
blocked
this
off?
way? Yeah.
Sorry, again, this dynamic lighting is really hard to see on my end, so Yeah, this is just a bridge that goes across. And you can see on either side is a pathway that goes underneath the bridge.
Okay. Kanan's just gonna shout and say, guys, there's more pathway up this way. And that'll be the end of her turn.
Okay, sounds great. Next up is Zarius. What would you like to do?
Zarius will start stepping this way, so 5, 10, 15, and he'll shout back to Kaden, "Be there in a minute, got something to handle here." And he will just take a strike with the sword at the hand.
Okay.
How?
Yeah, first strike, easy peasy. You just stab the hand right in the middle, and it, like a spider, twitches a little bit and then releases.
20, 25. That thing's going to shoot me. 30. That's all his movement. And he'll take his other attack at this guy. Same thing, just with the sword.
And right you were to say that the skeleton's going to shoot you. As soon as you become available, the arrow releases. And nat 20. That's 8 points of piercing damage.
No.
But you do strike this mummy right in front of you for a solid amount of damage. Okay.
And
okay, that's it.
Heat. Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up is Anira. What would you like to do?
Yeah, it is. Let's see, Kanan's up there. Zarius is down there. I'll head down this way, like right behind him.
Okay.
And just get a feel for all of the things in this room.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of undead walking towards you.
Yeah. Can I? I didn't have a plan coming into here, but it's fine. Can I Sleet Storm right here?
Let me look up Sleet Storm and see.
Until the spell ends, freezing rain and sleet fall on a 20-foot tall cylinder with a 40-foot radius, centered on a point you choose within range. Creatures must save on a dex save or fall prone.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that it doesn't have to be outside. Because if you have to see, like, if you have to have access to sky in order to...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's called lightning, is that.
Okay,
the Sleet Storm is just...
Yeah, so it's a... There we go. A 20-foot
right
tall
here.
cylinder with a 40-foot radius. Yeah. So let's draw this on here. Look at this nice color. 5, 10, 15, 20. Pew. So that's...
I am concentrating.
Let's do it like that. That's about good, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, and it's... Okay, area is heavily obscured, so you now have a difficult time seeing inside of this area, and this rain is just pouring down, freezing, and when they enter the area for the first time or start their turn there, they gotta make a dex save. Okay, got it. Or fall prone. Got it, okay. You're concentrating. Great. Anything else you'd like to do?
That's my... You can't hold... No, it's a spell, so I can't do. Can you hold bonus actions or just action?
Just actions.
Okay, then yeah, that's my turn.
All right. Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm gonna follow some folks, move up here, see all of that. What is my availability? I mean, we're all in a line in terms of being able to
Yeah.
fire, those sorts of things.
It'd be tough. It does slope downward, so you have a little bit of an elevation advantage, but the area is also heavily obscured aside from that mummy that is directly engaged with Zarius. So be a tight shot. Try to fit through there.
All right. And she's gonna move one so she's not directly in a line. And let's see. Kind of leaning out, watching, and holding some scorching rays.
All right.
If she's able to get a shot.
Okay. All right. So from your current position, you're holding a scorching ray ready.
This is correct.
Okay, just making sure. All right.
And I will be right back.
Sounds good. Next up is Varus.
Varus is going to use all of his little squeaky feet. 5, 10, 15, 20. Can you squeeze by Anira? 25,
Yeah,
30?
yeah.
Probably.
Okay, cool. So he'll go 30, and since he's in melee range with this guy, he'll hit him at least once. So there's the first one.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
I'm assuming he doesn't put him down. He'll go ahead and use the second one. I'm not going to create a whole nother modifier for the broken wrist thing, so we'll just
Yeah, you're
take
fine.
one
We'll
off.
just take
So
one off.
27.
That for sure hits, yeah.
I think that is his action and his bonus action. I think that's it.
Okay, all right. Next up is all of the undead. You've got to make a bunch of dex saves. And what's your spell save DC, Naira?
16.
Okay. Wow, they actually rolled really well. Only one of them falls prone. We'll see. He hurt his back on the way down. There we go. He's going to move out. Move out. He's prone, so he's going to stand up and only move to there. He's going to move to there, because it's difficult terrain. All right. There we go. Okay. So one is going to take a shot at Kanan here and miss wildly. Not even. So like you see it draw the arrow back, like it's about to fire, and then it lets go, and the string just snaps forward, and the arrow tips off the front of the bow. Doesn't even release at you. Meanwhile, the other ones are gonna just start wailing on you all down here. So first, the mummy is gonna swing at Zarius here. So Zarius does an 18 hit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 8 bludgeoning and 6 necrotic. Make a Constitution saving throw.
So 14. Save. 20.
You are not cursed with mummy rot.
Yay.
Zombie is also gonna slam at you. It's an 18 to hit.
That'll hit.
6 bludgeoning damage from the zombie.
Ouch.
The white is going to swing at you with his long sword. It's a 23 to hit for 5 slashing.
Yeah.
And then you see it reach its other hand out towards you, trying to grasp onto your chest with this sort of dark, blackened energy at the center of its palm. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Not one.
You take 6 points of necrotic damage, and your maximum hit point total is reduced by 6.
Awesome.
So just remember your actual total, and yeah.
So I'm just going to do this. 75 parentheses. Funny number.
And then an arrow, 2 arrows actually, because there's 2 skeletons. First one's a 17 coming at you.
Me still?
Yep, yeah, still. Everything's going
Okay.
for Zarius. It's
All
the
right.
first one
yeah.
they saw.
16 misses.
Okay, and then a 19.
19 hits.
Okay, so you lose 8 points of piercing damage as the arrow pierces through your armor. 2 arrows.
Gotcha.
Okay, and that's
Yeah,
it
feeling-
for their turn.
Feeling good.
Zarius feeling pretty good now.
Oof.
All right.
So I'm assuming there was no point where Harriet could get a shot in, but they moved.
If you can see them, oh yeah, you can see. Yeah. So go ahead and make your 3 scorching rays. There's only one target that you can see, so go ahead and make your 3 scorching
That's
ray
fine. I'll take what I can see.
Yeah.
Like I marked off the spell slot, so either I lose it or no, but
Yeah. So I just forgot to check and see if Harry could see.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I
21 and 8. That's great. Great. All 3 hit. You release these scorching rays, and they kind of weave through your friends before slamming 1, 2, 3. Just pop, pop. Oh wait, hold on. I got
Harriet
noises.
takes a deep breath because last time she just wailed Zarius in the back, and now
There's
she's
still a little scorched bit of hair.
and she's like around the corner, like with the quarterstaff. Like, okay.
And the 3 strike true, dealing a fair amount of damage. That's pretty good. 20 points of fire damage. Nice. I want to say. Okay. So that's good. All right, great. Yeah, dealing some solid damage. And I don't think that they light them on fire. Okay, no, they don't. All right, next up is Kanan. What would you like to do?
Unmute myself first. Kanan's gonna run up. Oh, there's more. It's this guy. And hit this first one until he's down,
Okay.
and then the next one if she can.
Okay. And as you passed across that bridge, you noticed there was a zombie shuffling around underneath, trying to figure out a way to get up, but it's like a 20-foot drop. So, just so you know, he's
Okay.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's enough to knock the first strike. You managed to just clock its head clean off. The body just falls to the ground.
Nice. And then she'll move forward one more and
Okay.
clock this one. Maybe.
And an 11 hits. Yeah.
Wow. Just gonna spend a key point to flurry of blows.
All right. Yeah, you smack it again. It's still standing. Oh, you got 2 strikes. I didn't see that second one. Nice. That's enough to take it down. How do you want to kill it?
Perfect. Yeah, so the first one, she'll just like a baseball bat just smack its head off. And then come around the other one with the quarterstaff once over the shoulder.
Okay.
And then just with her right hand, just pop, pop.
Nice. Very
and
cool.
just step forward once more.
All right, and from there you see that there's. Let me make sure. Sorry, again, my lighting sucks on this one. So you can see there is a door right here, but the room is open, and inside it looks like another kind of storage facility, or possibly like living space or office, something like that. You're not quite sure, just at a glance. And then you see it does descend downward like steps into a natural sort of open space here. The other direction to your left, you see another antechamber there, and then a door that's closed at the end of the hall. And there's what you can see. There's a board latched across the front of it, like set in place to lock something on the other side of the door to keep it in there.
Okay.
So that's what you see from there. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Next up is Zarius.
Zarius is just going to kind of look up and starting to feel a little bit pressured. He's just going to say, enough! And then this burst of light's going to come out of him as he casts Destroy Undead again.
Okay.
With Channel Divinity. So they all need to make, I think it's Wisdom saves, DC 17, and the ones with a challenge rating under 1 are instantly destroyed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably a bunch of them.
I think it's all but the mummy and maybe the whites.
Boop.
I don't know about them.
Boop.
And it's within 30 feet, so this guy's safe.
Boop. 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 You're deleting a bunch of things that you hadn't seen yet.
Love that. That's the best kind of deleting.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, this radiant light pushes outward, and they all have to make a wisdom save or be frightened of you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. They are both frightened of you. And yeah, the mummy is not frightened of you, but the other two, you see this look of terror in their eyes, and they kind of, back up a little bit, lean back in their own space away from you.
And then, as that was his action, so as his bonus action, because it's the only way I can attack. No, I don't want to use my last second level spell on these guys. No, he won't do anything. His
Okay.
shit there.
Sounds great. All right, next up is Inaira. What would you like to do?
Yee. She drops Sleet Storm.
Okay.
Moonbeam 4th level here
Right there. All right.
on this mummy.
Okay,
It's
Mummy's
a
got to make a
con
con save. Mummy has a pretty decent constitution. Mummy succeeds. Take half damage.
Okay. So that's 7. Because 9 plus 5 is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Zombie's still hanging on. Looking pretty hurt, but still hanging on. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
I'll kind of scoop past Zarius on this side, if I can.
That's like a cliff face.
Okay. Then never mind.
You can move through
I'll
his
just-
space and get to the other side, but
Yeah, I'll just kind of push past, like, excuse me.
okay. Sounds
I'm
good.
probably getting... Yeah.
All right.
Just, like, duck between his legs or something.
Yeah, just scoot past him as he's engaged with these things. Anything else you'd like to do?
No. That's it for now.
Okay. One sec. Okay. I just had to check something here. Next up is Harriet. What would you like to do?
Woohoo. Well, she didn't see what Kanan ran off to, so she's not gonna go that way, I guess. Move towards the gang.
All right.
All of y'all, and see where she can fit in.
Pretty tight space. I'd say
Yeah.
it's difficult terrain, so you can move through the spaces, but I count it as difficult terrain.
That's fine. Okay. The light here, is that an enemy or is that Moonbeam?
That's Moonbeam.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing the
No,
map
you're good.
now that
No,
I
you're
have
good.
moved. So, all right. So there's these two lads here. Let's see what we can do to them. Ba-bum. Well, we're gonna try. Am I able? Let's see. I should be able to fire spells at those two. From where I am.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you're firing over Zarius and Varus, so.
Not again.
Yeah, sorry guys. Not firing the gun by your ear, at least. You know, you're welcome for that one. She's gonna try. If this wouldn't work, just let me know. But use a sorcery point to twin Witch Bolt, and is gonna try to hit both of them.
Yeah, perfect.
Like one
yeah.
to each.
Yeah, go ahead and make your attack rolls. Double Witch Bolt, that's great.
Okay, remember that might hit one. It's a tight space.
It's a tight
Okay.
space. You release the two flares of Witch Bolt, and this one just sears
Yeah.
past Zarius's ear, singeing a little hair. Not doing any damage, but just singeing a little of the hair. The smell of the burnt hair filling the space. But yeah, both kind of go wide and slam onto the ground and the wall, respectively.
Oh, guys, I am not having it. And she'll just kind of have the quarterstaff out, you know,
Okay.
like the broom again. Like, don't you
All right.
guys get near me? I'm gonna bonk you, and that's pretty much it for her.
Sounds great. Next up is Varus.
Varus, is there still that guy here, the mummy?
Yep, there's still a mummy there.
Okay, I only see the moonbeam token, so I was just wondering. And okay, Varus is going to hit the mummy
Okay.
once, and if it hits, yeah, if it hits, he'll use goading attack.
Okay.
Boom. That's only 12
hits.
hit.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Okay.
enough.
Ooh.
As he stabs through, he manages to just cut the mummy down.
Oh, okay. And then he'll turn to the white that's next to him and attack him.
Okay. 15 does not hit.
Gotcha. And I think that'll actually be all for him.
Okay. Did I not make one of these? Yeah, so Varus swings, one striking true, the other time missing. But the zombie is down. Next up is the undead. This white here is going to take a longsword attack at Anira. It's a 22 to hit. For 8 points of slashing damage against Anira. Mark those points out for you. And Anira needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
I am back.
Okay. Yeah, I took off the damage for you. You got struck by a longsword, and you have to make a Constitution saving throw. Nice. Nat 20. Yeah, you managed to keep that life drain still active. And does a 19 hit? Yeah, it does. Okay.
Yes.
So you take 5 points of necrotic damage and make 2 Constitution saving throws. Sorry. First one for an effect. Second one for concentration. Okay, great. Succeed on both. I'll mark off the damage for you. There you go. As this thing just reaches out and clasps onto your shoulder, you feel some energy drain out of you into this creature. Next up is the other white, and it's going to attack right back at Varus. First one's an 8 to hit. It's pretty good. Next one's a 15, which also does not hit. Skeleton's going to step forward and take another arrow shot at Varus this time. It's a 21 to hit Varus. He takes 5 points of piercing damage.
Ouch.
Okay. And that's it for that. Hold on, I got my arrow noise. Okay. Next, Kanan. You hear a rumbling, sort of shaking noise at the edge of the door there. And before you can really react, you hear, if I can find the thingy, we're just going to do, as it bursts open, the door bursts open, and you see, sorry, wrong layer here. You see the creature standing there in full bloody glory. And it squeezes itself into this space, pushing forward. And once it gets within about 15 feet of you, its talons lance out towards you. It's going to make 2 attacks. So the first one is a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 20 points of piercing damage, and this thing yanks you, as its talon pierces through you, it yanks you 10 feet closer to it. Not the zombie. Yeah, 10 feet toward itself, okay. The second attack is a 27 to hit.
Yeah.
Okay. This time you take 8 points of piercing damage. As it just, these 2 talons just pierce right through. Almost sounding like 2 arrow strikes, but we'll do that instead. So you are grappled by this creature.
Okay.
Yeah, you're about 10 feet away from it, but you are considered grappled. And you see, as you're kind of held by this thing, you feel the pain of the lances just piercing through you. You feel shadow kind of wreathe around you, and you vanish into darkness, reappearing at the end of the hallway here. You also take... make a Constitution saving throw. Sorry, I misspoke. Don't take anything yet. 21, very good. You instead do not take 34 points of necrotic damage. You take no damage.
Good.
What?
Yeah.
Can Kanan scream?
Yeah, Kanan could scream, yeah.
Yeah. So you guys just hear this really loud, like, scream / cat yowl.
And that's behind us
And
that we
you
hear.
have no idea where you hear it from, because it echoes all throughout these caverns, through all the different layers.
Oh no.
The zombie up here, by the way, Kanan, is still trying to find a way to climb up the ledge there, so hasn't quite figured that out.
Okay.
Next up is Kanan's turn. What would you like to do?
Cut these freaking things off of me if I can.
Okay, you could try. Yeah.
Chop.
They're pretty, I mean, it's like the size of your arm almost, like your forearm.
My gosh, who's out there revving their engine? Just to freaking rev it. Okay.
My gosh.
What?
It was very, it felt very, like southern old lady. My gosh,
Well,
who's out
who was
there?
out there on the lawn
Okay. So,
on this fine evening?
okay, and you are grappled. You can try to escape from the grapple, or you can try to. You're not close enough to try to hit the creature.
I want to try to saw these things off,
Okay.
damaging it, hopefully.
I'm trying to think of what attack that might be, because they don't have an AC of their own. It's just the creature's AC. So, I'd say this will just be a higher AC because you're trying to do a specific thing. That'll increase the difficulty of the attack. So, go ahead and roll
But it's
your attack.
also attached to me pretty permanently.
It is, but you're trying to break through it. So,
Yeah.
So we'll just say the difficulty increase will represent that breaking through. So go ahead and make your attack roll.
Perfect.
29 is definitely high enough. Yeah. You come down with the blade the first time, and you manage to crack at it, and you see it splinter. It's not quite enough to break it off just yet. But you do manage to, and you're inflicted with pain while doing this, because this thing is embedded in you. So, yeah. It's not, but you've made some damage to it. You've definitely dealt some damage and have made some progress.
Okay, is that just the one hit?
That's the one hit. Oh, sorry, I didn't see the other hit. Sorry, my chat updates slowly. So you come down the second time, and you manage to break, 19. You break it a little more. It's looking pretty weak, but it's not quite broken off yet. With this one, you take 2 points of piercing damage on your own.
And then I'm gonna spend a key point to Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
And just kind of try to rip the one just apart.
Just
if
kinda,
that makes sense.
Yeah, like snap it in half so it can't, yeah. Is that what you're getting at? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm understanding you right. All right, go ahead and make your attack rolls. 16.
The feeling that one doesn't hit.
Yeah, the 16, you try, and you're trying to get a solid strike on it, but you just can't get the right position with how it's holding you there. But then you regain your composure, focus, and that last hit you manage to break through the talon. But you yourself take another 2 points of piercing damage in the process. But you are freed from the grapple and have dealt damage to the creature as well.
Okay, and it's got another one in me still, right?
No, it's only got one talon through you. It just struck you with the other one.
Okay. I am disengaging the hell from that.
Okay.
Because I used my Flurry of Blows, and Kanan shambles away, runs away.
And she waddled away.
All right, which direction are you going?
This direction.
Okay.
Right there. So that's
Right there.
30.
Get over there.
45. 55. Bloop. And that's all she can do.
Okay.
And then she's gonna yell down the hall and say, "Everybody, it's past the door!"
Okay, and you all
That's
hear
it.
that a lot more clearly than you heard before. I will say, Kanan, as you round this corner here, at the top, you catch a glimpse of what looks like a moving body down at the end of this hallway here. You
Oh,
can't
wait,
quite make it
really?
out, but you just see, it looks like, could be zombie, could be something, you're not quite sure, but you just see some movement of some body-like shape. So,
In that case, I'll stop there on that turn.
okay, and yell there. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do? Okay. Next up is Zarius.
Zarius is gonna, hearing Kanan scream, just turn to Varus and be like, "Go help Kanan, we've got it here." Not knowing where she is. So, and then he'll attack this white to try and get it off of Varus.
All right.
So he'll attack it twice.
Sounds great.
Once, and actually, I have a ding that I can do, so I'm going to roll an extra d8. That's going to for Divine Smite, so it takes that much more damage.
Nice. Okay.
Because that's the first time I've done that, and I've had that ability since level 8. Yeah, and then second attack. Oh, that should have had that on there.
That's fine. Yeah, that's enough to. So, how do you want to kill this one?
As he's saying this, Tavares will just sort of swing his sword once and then drive it through, like, in between the eyes, the thing, and then, like, flick it so it just slumps over.
Nice. Yeah, you see the red, fiery energy in the eyes just kind of burn out as it falls. The body falls away.
And so it was action, bonus action. Yeah, and he'll just kind of stand there.
Okay. Sounds great. Next up is Anira. What would you like to do?
Because I wasn't here for the entire turn, did this guy take the moonbeam damage on his turn?
No, he's not in the moonbeam.
Oh, it's that one. Okay, well then I'm gonna move it to that one.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Con save.
Cool. And want me to re-roll Eurydice!
Yeah, go ahead and re-roll the damage.
Okay, and it was at 4th level.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'll move it off of him for a second so I can select him. All right. Nice, okay. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn, Anira?
Yeah, that's Kanan screaming. I'll just kind of give a look to Zarius, like, oh fuck. And in a quick, I can't really, this is like a weird, yeah, I can't immediately from here see any other threats, so I'm just gonna like hang out here and try to like, kind of, I can't move like exactly, but try and have my like back to the wall.
Sure, yeah. That makes sense. All right.
To like be moving towards this hallway, but not like actually like moving like in the D&D sense.
Just prepping yourself to go that way. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Sounds great. Next up is Harriet.
That's me. Let's see. I'm gonna run towards where Kanan was screaming, because I'm already kind of lined up to do that. And I think I'm just gonna. All I can see is that dead body thing, so I'm gonna dash for my action.
Okay. As you approach, you do see that there is another ravine there. It's about the same distance as before. So.
But I will stop at the ravine, but as a player, let me zoom in so that I can do that correctly. Is that the ravine right there?
Yeah, you could go up another space or two.
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I can just see Kanan.
Yeah.
And I'll kind of... Well, I can't see any enemies at this point, but I'll kind of wave at Kanan, gesture at the ravine.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
I don't know what you want me to do, but, I'm here to help. I've got a gun.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Just have like hand on the holster, ready to draw. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
All for me.
Next up is Varus.
Varus is going to, because we know that the ravine's over there, right?
Do you? Did you look?
I believe
there? Varus looked.
Yeah,
over
he was. He was the one who opened the doors. So, he's
there's also the path that goes to the right side of the map that winds up that same direction. So. You haven't gone down that path, but just so you know.
We haven't gone down that path, so we don't know for a fact. He's going to go ahead and cast Fly on himself.
Okay.
As his action. And then he's going to fly 60 feet. Oh, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, no, that's 25. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 60. And you know what? He wants to get to Kanan, so he's going to use his action surge to dash.
Okay.
And get another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Ignore that guy. 40, 45, 50, 60 and just stand right here next to Kanan, weapon drawn.
Okay. And Varus, as you went by in this place, I know that you didn't see it before, but you don't see anything aside from the zombie trying to climb up the side of the cliff face. That's it.
Yeah. He's just going to get right here next to Kanan.
Okay. Sounds great. Next up is the undead. This guy's going to make another con save. And probably fail it. Yeah. So he takes the... lots of damage. But is going to move out of the space of this and then attack Anira with the longsword. So 21 to hit. Oh, sorry.
That hits.
You take 5 points of slashing damage, and then you see him reach his hand out again to grab onto you. It's a 22 to hit.
That hits as well.
Make a Constitution saving throw. Actually, make 3 Constitution saving throws. Okay. You save on all of them, which is nice, but you do take 3 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
The skeleton doesn't know what a moonbeam is, and is so going to step into it and be obliterated in the process.
Yay.
And that's it for them. Oh, the zombie is still going to try to climb up the cliff. Yeah, that's all. Next is Harriet. Do you have your light on? I assume not, because you have dark vision now.
I can see now. So no, I do not have the light on at the moment.
You see in the ravine this figure appear in the shadows, in the dim darkness that's around, and flash out a terrifying spear-like claw at you from the bottom of the ravine. The first one scatters across, like it just strikes against the cliffside. The end, you notice, is blunted and broken. You don't know how that happened, but the other one strikes into you with a 27 to hit.
Yeah, that.
You take 25 points of piercing damage and are yanked off of the edge of the ravine and are hanging in the air at the end of this talon. Pulled about 10 feet closer to the creature, so you're still about 20 feet off the ground.
All right.
You feel the shadows begin to wreathe and wrap around you. Make a Constitution saving throw. You also do not take the damage, but you feel yourself disappear and reappear here. Still held, skewered on the end of this thing. You're grappled, effectively.
Okay.
Anything else you'd like to do? Or I would like to do?
This is not how I wanted to get away from the ravine, you bastard.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, next up is Kanan. I gotta move the map here, so give me 1 second. All right, Kanan, what would you like to do? You've seen Varus swoop
I keep
in next
forgetting
to
to
you.
unmute myself. Yeah, Harriet was right here.
Yep, yeah, and you saw her get lifted up into the air and vanish from your sight.
I'm gonna go ahead and keep with my first train of thought and run down this direction
Okay.
and go 5, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 40, 50.
Okay. You enter into the room and you see you push past the ruined remnants of the door that was there, and you see it looks like a large stone kind of set against the wall. It doesn't look like it was built that way initially, but it's just been pushed up against the wall. It looks like the top of a coffin or sarcophagus or something. Big, heavy piece of stone. Leaned up next to it, unconscious, though not like from dying. You know, it just looks like just beaten unconscious, basically. You see the body of Zelene. You're not quite sure of her state at this point. I'll give you another 5 feet, so you could rush in and slide across the dusty floor if you wanted to. If you want to get right next to her.
I'll spend my feline agility.
Okay. All right, if you want to, yeah. But yeah, so you can get right next to her if you'd like to, and you can you have your action if you'd like to make an assessment of her. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at her.
Okay.
My last Cure Wounds.
All right. Okay.
She's just gonna kind of like very hesitantly touch Zelene's shoulders.
Okay.
Just say, please don't be dead.
As the healing energy suffuses from your hands, you see some of the wounds close on her body, and you know the spell took effect. And just as you think maybe she's not going to wake up, you see one eye kind of crusted over with blood kind of peer open. She says, "Oh, I don't feel good."
Stay here. And then I'm gonna spend the rest of my movement to dash back 50 feet.
Okay.
Because feline agility.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fine. Alrighty, and I'll hang out there.
Okay.
I'll
As
just-
you
Yeah.
rush out, Zelene says, "No, I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you." And you see her stand to her feet. Just a tremendous amount of like effort exerted in doing this. But you see she's just tough. You can see she's just a tough woman. She begins to stumble out towards you, regaining her composure with each passing step. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Nope, hang out
Okay.
there.
Next up is Zelene, who used her turn already, as I said in the fancy description I gave. Next is Zarius.
Zarius is going to attack this dude in front of him. So, 1,
All right, that hits for sure.
and instead of doing the whole modifier thing, I'm just going to do this. So,
Okay.
1 extra damage.
That's enough to put it down.
Hey! And then he can't see all the way, so he's assuming Varus went back to help Kanan, and he hasn't heard anything else, so he's going to go this way. 5. Oh. What?
You see Harriet hanging off of her feet.
Okay. Yeah. So 5, 10, 15, like 20, and then. Ooh, how do I want to do this? Yeah, I mean, he's going to cast Spiritual Weapon and summon it like right next to this dude.
Okay.
And roll a natural 1, so it misses. But it's there now.
All right, and you've got control over this thing.
Yeah, and that'll be his turn.
All right.
And
Sounds great.
he'll turn to Anira. Anira, Harriet's here. She needs help. So that Anira doesn't just run off.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Sounds good. Next up is Anira.
I'm hanging in there.
But I'm gonna, hearing that, I'm gonna quick glance down this hallway, don't immediately see anything, and then run, that was at 5, 10, 15, 20, and I'm gonna move the moonbeam to on top of the guy.
Okay. And you see, as the light passes over this creature, it recoils away from it, and you can see its skin react negatively to the effect of the light. And you see it tries to summon shadows around itself, but it can't. The light dispelling them as it tries to. But it doesn't take any damage. At least right
Okay.
now. Because it rolled a nat 20, that's
Yeah.
why.
Okay. I was gonna say, I mean, it could be immune. I don't know your monsters,
No.
but
Just rolled a nat 20, so I figure, you know.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, just hold on, Harriet,
Oh, I'm being held. Don't worry.
and that's my turn.
Okay. Next up is Harriet. You're currently being grappled by this monster.
Okay. So, she's gonna use her extra feet and just look it right in the eyes and just try and roar like Cryovane.
Okay.
And then cast you said she's gonna try and cast fear at it
Okay.
and trying to get it to drop her essentially. Yeah, kind of like, I guess she can't really move too much. So I can't play for that, but let's see. It's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save, okay. You cast the spell, you try to turn as much as you can, and you let out this fearsome roar like Cryovane, the terrible white dragon. And you release the magic, and the creature just kind of cocks its head at you, and you hear this kind of... No effect.
Okay, then she will just spit in its eye, and that's it.
All right, next up is Varus. Varus, what would you like to do?
Muted. I'm muted. Varus, seeing Kanan turning around and running this way, is going to run, I guess, this opposite direction. I go 5, 10, or fly, actually. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And there's a zombie there.
Yep, just a one zombie trying to climb its way up the cliff.
Okay, so does this go back? Oh, okay, I see. 45, let's go 50, 55, and he'll take care of this thing because he doesn't know what's going on elsewhere.
I mean, he also is flying, so he doesn't have to engage it if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he might as well, though.
Okay.
He'll be bored otherwise. So 1, 2, but -1 to the second one.
That's enough to put
28
him
and
down.
27. Yeah. And then he'll use his last 10 feet of movement, or 5 feet of movement, just to fly up 5 feet and start heading towards this pathway, because it's like up in the air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of flying all the way back around, he's just going to go like up 5 feet, and then the next turn he'll go down this pathway to meet up with everyone.
All right, sounds great. Next up is the Bone Claw. Bone Claw, having one talon already in Harriet, is just going to strike the other one in. It's a 23 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Yeah, you take 19 points of piercing damage. And then it's just going to basically just switch him out. So it'll puncture through with one, withdraw, and puncture through again with the other one. And that's a nat 20.
I am not. Oh no. Oh no.
Don't worry, it didn't roll that well. You take
Only 50 damage.
23 points of piercing damage. As you all see this thing just, just like punching holes like Swiss cheese through Harriet.
And
And it's going to move backwards, taking Harriet with it in this hallway here. It's about there, yeah. All right, and that is it for that. Kanan, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Yes. Kanan is gonna try to run to her friends. Oh, wrong way. 5, 10, 15, 20. She's gonna dash down this hall and try to jump onto the creature.
Okay.
Just enough movement.
Okay, yeah.
So yes.
Leaping onto its back, trying to stab with your dagger, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, dagger.
Yes.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make your attack rolls. I'll give you an extra d6 for damage.
yeah.
17 hits.
If I manage to hit.
Yep,
Oh.
17 hits.
Well, here's a d6 for the first one.
Okay, good, yeah. You stab the blade into its back, and you feel the creature react and recoil, and Harriet, you feel the talons tense, and they strain at your body. You feel immense pain as a result. But But yeah, it's solid hit from Kanan. And the 20 also hits. Nice.
Keep it up, Kaden. You're doing great.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And then Kanan's just gonna try to, holding the dagger in one hand, sink her claws, like her foot claws and hand claws,
Okay.
into it and just try to hold on.
Okay.
Should I do unarmed strikes for those? Should I spend a key point? I'm gonna spend a key point.
Ordinarily, that would be a
Strike with
grapple, which would be your attack like that would be your action. But we'll say since you can use both of your unarmed strikes to try to grapple, I would say. I think that's fair. So if you use a key point to do like flurry of blows, you could use that as your and then try to grapple. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead and spend the key point, and then do an athletics check, and this thing will do athletics or acrobatics. Not a great roll for Kanan, but this thing only rolled a 7. So, it tries to shake you off, but you've just got those claws sunk in. You are hanging on. Your friend is in danger. You're hanging on. Okay.
That's it.
All right. Next up is Zaleen, who stumbles towards the door, and I'm actually going to have her do a Constitution save. And passes out, because she rolled a 1. So she collapses on the ground in that room, sleeping. And I'll remove her turn. Next up is Zarius.
Zarius is sort of watching the creature disappear around the corner. Will run 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 so he can see it. I think I can move this. Yeah, so he'll move his sword to attack the thing. Make sure I'm on Zarius and not Varus. Submit. That'll miss, probably.
Yeah, swings and just goes wide, doesn't hit.
So that's his bonus. With his action, he's going to point at it and cast Guiding Bolt just at first level.
Okay.
And I'll add 10 to that.
Okay, yeah. 21 hits for sure. And it takes the 10 damage, and you see it recoil, and now that glowing light kind of suffuses away from it.
Gotcha.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay, I'm going to put a thing on it so I don't forget that it's glowing here. Sure, this dramatic one looks good. All right, next up is Anira. What would you like to do?
It is me. I saw Zarius go this way and shoot, so I know it's over there. How wide is this path?
Anywhere between 5 feet at the narrow points and 15, 20 feet at the wide points. So it just varies. You can fit through pretty much the whole way.
Yeah. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now I can barely see it, and I'll move my moonbeam onto it.
Sounds great. Make a Constitution.
Do you want me to re-roll?
Yep, go ahead and re-roll.
And this is at 4th level.
Okay.
26.
Yeah, it did save, so it takes half damage, but it's still 13 damage, which is great.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Hang out next to Zarius.
Okay.
We're buds now.
Sounds good. Next up is Harriet.
Oh boy. Well, I'm kind of just hanging here, and well, let's see. Thinking about how it reacted to the light from Anira's. Is she able to touch any part of, this thing?
The talons are kind of going through her back, so you could grab onto the thing at the front, but you can't get at the creature. It's 10 feet away from you.
Yeah. She's trying to cast light on it.
Okay. So you could see it. You could turn your head and look at it. You can cast a spell at it.
Okay. Well, she's gonna turn and try and cast light somewhere that's on it, so it's permanently like experiencing that.
Okay.
And yeah, just frustrated, like kind of.
Okay. Go ahead and make your spellcasting modifier roll. So like it'd be charisma for you plus your proficiency plus your This will roll a dex save to try to dodge it.
+4, I think that's just +8.
You cast the light, and it's a little ball of light that reaches out from you, and it's about to strike true. I mean, you are right there, and it just moves out of the way. The light passes by it. But it does light up the area right behind it for a couple of seconds.
Well, then she's just gonna be mad for the rest of her turn, because that was her action.
Okay. It rolled a 25. You rolled a 24, so just missed.
No. Yeah, free action fuming.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all for me.
Okay.
She just, guys, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
It doesn't like light. That's all.
All right. Next up is.
I don't like it.
Next up is Varus.
Varus is going to use his fly speed of 60. Can he make it all the way there? I don't know. Over.
You have to go up like 20 feet, so that's,
So, I mean, he already went up 5, so it's 15 up, right?
Sure.
And then
15. We'll call it 15.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. 60 would put him, like, right on top of Kanan, but I don't know if that's up in the air or not.
Yeah, this thing's at the bottom of the ravine. It's only about 15 feet tall, so he could do an Eldritch Blast from there for sure. Have a real clear shot for that.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
Okay.
And
he's got advantage on the first hit.
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast. So
21 hits. Yeah. Solid 3 points of force damage.
I don't know how Eldritch Blast works. Do you get 2 of those at a
you
certain
get 2
level?
at this level now.
Okay. And 2.
Nice, 9 points. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You strike 2 hits on its back with this purple daggers that Varus spawns, flinging them down one by one, managing not to hit Kanan either time, but just blowing out these chunks of muscle next to it. It's very gross. Anything else for Varus? I think that's it for him, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Next up is the Bone Claw. Seeing what's going on around it, recognizing the potential for it to die, it tries to wreath the shadows around it once more, but the moonlight dissipating it, and the light from Harriet's light spell behind it kind of shattering those shadows as they begin to form. Instead, it decides it's just going to tear into Harriet twice more. It's a 20 to hit for the first one and a 24 for the second one, so they both hit.
Those both hit.
Sorry. The first one does 14 points of piercing damage. As it again just switches claws, stabbing into you.
That's 1 HP left.
Oh no. Well, the second one does 22 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, I'm unconscious on this thing. Let's see.
It seeing that you drop unconscious just sort of flicks you downward onto the ground. You take a d6 of falling damage.
Okay.
Which is a failed death save.
Yep.
Creature's then going to try to leave with Kanan on its back. So Kanan, you go with it. Well, you could try to stop it if you want to, but you don't have any leverage. So I'd say we could do a contested strength check if you'd like.
Nah.
You'd be at disadvantage.
It's bigger than me.
Okay.
I'm just on top of it.
Okay. And that's... We're going to go... Yeah, just... As these talons puncture through, it then rushes off into the darkness.
No. Run, you coward.
Kanan, you're up next. You've seen it just almost kill your friend. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna stab it twice and run away.
Okay.
25
hits. Yep. 14 does not hit.
I want to spend a key point to flurry of blows so I can disengage.
Okay. And you see it's taken a fair amount of damage. It looks awful, but it's always sort of looked awful. But it definitely is. It's moving more like it's hurt. It's not quite so active, not quite so quick. And both of those hit, yeah. So -8, -9. And that second strike with your dagger does miss. This thing is looking real hurt.
Like ready to die hurt?
You're not sure, you've never seen anything like this before. You can make a medicine check if you'd like, but you'd be at disadvantage.
Nah, I spent all my turn stuff.
Okay.
So I'll just hang out on top of it now that it's looking real hurt.
Okay. Yeah, you're... Oh, sorry, not those strikes. Strikes hit true.
Hey,
for the
that
most
echo
part.
feature is so cool. It like gets me every time.
All right, Zarius, you're up. What would you like to do?
Zarius is going to 5, 10, 15, 20. Let's put him there. And cast Cure Wounds on Harriet at first level. I almost clicked Inflict Wounds.
Please, sir.
6 points of healing damage. And then... no, it's Arius, not the... Oh, goodness, gotta move the sword. Actually, yeah. Bonus action, he'll move the sword. 5, 10, 15, 20... I think, is it 20 or 30? I think it's only 20. So he'll move the sword there. And that's all they can do.
Sounds good.
I think it's 20. I'm gonna double check.
Yeah, it's 20 feet.
Yeah, it's 20 feet.
Oh, Kanan, did you want to move away from the creature?
No, I decided against it, seeing that he was hurt.
Okay. All right, and Ira, you're up next. What would you like to do?
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I can see the boy, and you already know what I'm gonna do.
All right, yeah, get that moonbeam on there. Con save.
And want me to re-roll?
Yeah.
Where it is. Okay.
Okay, wow, that's great. Yeah,
Ooh.
29 points of damage. How would you like to kill this creature?
Oh no. She'll place the moonbeam, like, kind of just like without thinking, and like just seeing that it's so close to her, just close her eyes as it lands,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
just not watch.
Okay. Yeah, as you bring the moonbeam around, you see that radiant light start to pick at the parts of the body. This large, sort of grotesque creature. The body begins to crumble, and you see mounds of dust, rotting flesh, broken and shattered bone fragments left in place, along with the rags that it was wearing. And you see something shine against the moonlight. It's like a reflective, something metallic there. It looks small, like maybe the size of a pocket watch or something.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have seen it because her eyes are closed.
Well, yeah. But those who are around see that.
Yeah. Can I look yet? Anyone?
I don't know.
We're out
Can
of
you?
turn order.
Her hands are still up and her eyes are closed. She's like, "Can I look? Is it
you're
down?
Fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
It's undead, but a kill is still a kill."
15, 20, 25, 30. Do that anymore. We're out of turn order.
Hey, we don't need to do turn order.
Once you pick up the shiny thing, I'll drop the moonbeam.
Yeah, Zarius will pick up the shiny thing. Varus
Okay.
is going to fly back and find Celine
Okay.
and make sure, and she's unconscious. So
She's just asleep, yeah.
is Varus able to like pick her up? I don't know if that's like a
No,
strength check.
he's like
or
a
what.
7
No,
strength.
yeah,
There's
I
no way.
figured.
Um,
Yeah, so
But Zarius,
Can
you
I
pick up
follow?
you find it's a locket inside. It has a portrait of a human woman. You see on the inside of the locket, it has a little inscription that says, "For Alexander, my love."
well, I mean, there's a locket here. I guess this thing's name was Alexander.
So we can. Should we leave it?
Well, I'll take the locket if you don't want it.
Yeah, maybe put it in that box or something.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll hand it to Kanan.
Yeah, Kanan will pull out her box, say, an Omnium Historium, whatever it is, and pop it in there.
Okay.
After seeing that Zillion's unconscious, Farce would fly back to get help, but
Okay.
I don't know how long that takes. So.
Yeah. All this stuff could have happened in that time.
Okay. I will go up and wherever she is.
Yeah. So y'all can make your way through.
Varus, show me. Oh, there she is. Okay.
Yeah. As you enter this room, Anira, you feel an intense need to make a nature check.
Constitution save.
A couple death saves, you know.
Okay, 22. Great. Is everybody heading up there?
Yeah.
Is Harriet able to do something real quick before she
Sure.
does?
Yeah.
She's gonna take her gun and squeeze the handle and just say, hey there. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Maybe try that tea set that I gave you if you haven't. That's all. Love you. Like, holster. And, yeah.
Okay. A moment later, you hear that same sound that always seems to surround Jen, of that crashing waves against the bow of her ship. But this time, you also hear echoes of gunfire that you recognize and cannon blasts. And you hear, sorry, a little busy, love. Good to hear from you. I've got to kill some pirates now. I'll be back. And then you hear just yelling out commands, firing, and then the message ends.
Or we'll just kind of take like a deep, like a breath, like, okay, I'm still here, like that's, and go back with the
Okay.
folks, wherever you guys
I'll
were,
move
I
you.
don't know.
I'll cure wounds Aline at 2nd level.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Sir.
And I
Just
rolled
gonna-
what was the nature check?
Nature check, right? So, you feel at the end of the room here, at this end, where that stone is just kind of pushed up against the wall. It's like pressed into the wall, but it's definitely not ordinarily. It wasn't built that way. You feel a pull, like something drawing you in. That's behind that stone. You don't see anything immediately, but you have a feeling that something is there, hidden behind the wall.
Okay. I will go to Zaline first, make sure she's okay, and then probably slip, not like getting anyone's attention per se, but like kind of like slowly walk over to wherever the wall was.
This way, yeah.
This way.
That's
Okay.
into the room. Okay. Yeah, and Zaline wakes. She says, "Oh, well, that was exciting."
Yeah.
Did any of you
Quite
find?
so, I'd say.
Did any of you find what we were looking for?
No, I was kind of busy looking for you.
Well, thank you. I had it on the ropes.
Yeah, we could see that. We just figured we'd give you a hand.
Thank you. Truly. She looks around the room and she says, "Something is different here. This creature was afraid of this space. But I don't know
Maybe
why."
what we're searching for is in here.
Perhaps.
Well, is this like a tomb thing?
I don't know. This underground area was a sort of storehouse or hiding ground, a place for the revolutionaries to encamp and strategize and plan. But they were run out when the city was destroyed, I'm assuming by whatever we just fought.
They, I think, wrote about this. Zarius found a journal and some letters. I only previewed them, but there's a lot of indication here about things that happened.
Yes. Thank you for gathering those. I appreciate your efforts. We still need to find this item or whatever that Arcturus warned us about, so perhaps we should look around.
Are there any like holes near like the sides of the wall or anything?
You could probably put
Like
your fingers in
cracks?
to try to get at the stone that's there, but there's nothing that you could like look through.
Yeah. Is it like diggable or is it like stone?
It's stone, yeah. I mean, with all of you, you could probably pry it open. But
Can I have a thing. I don't know if I have it prepared, but I have a thing. Where is it? I don't remember the name of it. I'll say transmute rock.
yeah, you can just transmute stone, yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
I prepared that for the last session. So unless it's one of your
Yeah.
always prepared, it's not ready.
But at least we know it exists.
But if you talk to the party, I'm sure we'd help.
Yeah, she might. she's in a weird spot. But you do see her just like kind of messing with the wall, I will say.
And Ira, do you need help over there?
I'm not sure. I feel something, and I don't know if it's what we just fought or what have you, but there's something here.
So you're trying to do?
Honestly, I don't know. It's stone. I can't magically go through stone.
And this is a stone that looks like it was placed there, Matt.
Yeah, it looks like it was set and then pushed into the wall.
Well, would you like our help moving it?
Do you think we can? I'm not versed in
Perhaps.
moving of stone.
Plenty of us here. How hard could it be?
At least
I
try.
can help.
Yeah, let's. Varus will
Right.
come over. I don't know how much help I'll be, but I'll give it a shot.
All right.
I think Voss is going to be the one.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he's really going to put it over.
Okay, so since everybody's helping out, go ahead and make, and Ira, since you're leading it, go ahead and make an athletics check with advantage.
With advantage. Yeah. Oof.
You try, and you make some progress. You manage to kind of scoot the stone out a little bit, and you can tell if you kept at it, you'd definitely be able to get through it. You just haven't quite made it there yet. You give your first go, and you pushed and pulled. You managed to move it out about 1.5 inches, but you haven't moved it out of the way yet.
Well, we made progress. One more push.
Yeah, or I can hit it with a guiding bolt and see what happens.
We don't want to destroy maybe
That-
what's back
that was,
there.
Yeah, that was a joke.
All right, do
I
one more
will-
athletics with advantage. 15. This time you managed to slide it a good about a foot, 1.5 feet. So now you could squeeze in there. All of you could fit through the gap that's there.
Let me look first, and then I'll let you know.
Are you tough enough to face whatever might be down there alone?
I mean, hopefully.
We could just go together.
I think that'd be best.
You can lead though. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, after you.
All right, and she will poke her head in.
Okay. The pathway is cramped and dark. You crawl through this space, and the rest of you follow behind. And you begin to feel the stone under your feet give way to the soft crunch of dead grass. Ahead, you can just make out a thin, pale golden light spilling into the tunnel. Do you all push through?
Yeah.
Okay. You push through, and I'm going to put everyone together, thank you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Just moved you to the left there. So you push through and find yourselves exiting into a surprisingly large chamber. The room is maybe 20 feet square, and the ceiling reaches up about 50 feet. The soft light that you saw before emanates down from 1,000 motes of drifting fuzz, like cotton blowing on a spring morning. Dominating the space is a brittle and dry tree. Thin, withered branches scratch the walls of the chamber and reach spindly fingers out around the space, and the knotted, gnarled trunk looks parched and cracked. Dead grass, worn down to nearly nothing, covers the floor, and the center of the trunk looks folded in on itself, like something has been enveloped by it. What would you like to do?
Can I walk straight up to the tree and try and druid craft it? Because druid craft can make a flower blossom, a seed pod open, or a leaf bud bloom.
Yeah.
So just to see if something happens to the tree, or if I feel anything.
You approach and touch a part of the trunk, and you see a slight branch, thin, green branch, kind of grow out and harden into what you consider to be a normal branch, like a thin branch there, with a leaf sprouts out the end of it. The tree groans and creaks. Several of the branches break off against the inner chamber walls in response to your actions. The trunk crackles and begins to unfurl, the wood unrolling in front of you like a scroll and depositing a feminine and humanoid body. Red, yellow, and orange leaves cover her skin, and dried twigs stick out at odd angles from her treetop-like hair. She breathes ragged breaths that sound like bark scraping against itself. Varus, Zarius, and Harriet, you have seen a being like this before inside of the Sanctum of Al-Shan. The woman rises to her feet, several of the leaves falling from her body as she does so, and looks warmly on all of you. She lifts her hand to caress your faces as she examines you more closely, like a mother looking on the face of her children. She speaks, the tree groaning behind her. It says, "You have finally come. Finally. I have waited so long. I had wondered if there were any left of the Anthracene."
You're beautiful.
My time is short. The heretic is powerful. His magic, his kin are in disharmony with nature. The Celestials are immensely powerful. And Tadriel, once the embodiment of justice, has betrayed himself. Nature and the Celestials are not in opposition, but different. No, you all have the box.
I have the box.
So, in your time, is there anything you wish to tell us, or anything we can help you with? Or...
Yes, you have come at the right time. Tadriel has committed great atrocities to appease his broken heart, and to satisfy the one they call the Shepherd of Fire. You must defeat him. I can provide a tool to do so, but only for you, Child of the Forest, she says to Anira and caresses the side of her face.
Oh, I would be honored to accept.
Very well. You must take the last of me. I will put all I am into a single piece. You must remove it. She gestures to a rib on her left side. It says, "Bone of my bone. You must plunge your hand to my side and break my rib. Take it, and thrust it between the heretic's ribs, and you inflict on him the very power of nature."
I have to break your rib to do this.
You must. You must take my life to save others.
I'm honored you'd let us do such a thing. What can I do? Anything to? Will you be in pain? Will it? hurt you? Will it?
I will be in incredible pain, but you will save the lives of many, and it is my offer to you.
I almost feel like I have to.
You
I take no joy in causing you pain. Let me say that. And I will gently, just kind of tenderly reach for a rib. Is it like exposed ribs, or do I have to like plunge through skin?
You gotta go through her body. As you reach your hand out kind of nervously towards her, she grabs your wrist and your hand hard and looks you dead in the eyes and says, "It's time to say goodbye, Inaira," and pulls your hand against her side. So your fingers are like at her side.
Can I at least know your name?
I have no name. I once was this land, but I am withered and frail, and I cannot be restored.
Hopefully we don't fail you, and I'll yank and pull.
Okay. You plunge your hand into between her ribs. You can feel the bone push against your fingers. You feel the flesh tear from under your fingertips, and you've really got to put some force into this. You see her wince and cry out in pain, but not let go of your wrist, helping you to, stay firm in your conviction to do this. You reach in and you grab hold, and you got to really put some effort into it, and you feel it break like a tree branch almost. And you withdraw out, and you can see the light dim and fade as you remove the bone from her side. After a moment of removing it, she looks at you and smiles weakly, and the leaves that make up her skin just sort of begin to fall and drift about the room until there's nothing left but a pile of twigs and branches and leaves.
Naira's just like holding the bone and just staring at the pile.
If you let her, Harriet would put just a hand on your shoulder or back.
Yeah. She probably wouldn't react, but she doesn't like move away. So.
It's not expecting anything. That's all.
Yeah, Kanan's just gonna look at Inaira for a minute. Look at her wrists and the shackles that Fang gave her. Just kind of touch them and walk out of the room.
Okay.
Zerus would walk over, put a hand on Inaira's shoulder for like half a second, give it a little squeeze, and then just walk out too.
Okay.
Probably wait until everyone's out and then wait a couple seconds more and then leave.
Okay.
Actually,
Go ahead.
are there like physical leaves?
Yeah.
Or are they like withered and crunchy?
Yeah, they're like real brittle. I mean, as soon as you go to pick any of them up,
Okay.
they begin to turn to dust.
Okay. Yeah, I'll wait until everyone leaves, then I'll wait like 10 seconds more and then I'll go.
Okay. Yeah, you have obtained the legendary item, Rib of the Anthracene. So, it's like a dagger, but you can use it. If you use it against a celestial being, it does 10d8 damage.
Oh shit! Cool.
So, there you go. So go ahead and add that to your inventory.
At the small cost of having to murder something.
Yeah. As you all finally exit, Zelene says, "Oh, as much fun as this place has..." She did not go into the room with you, by the way. She says, "As much fun as this place has been, I think we need to leave and make our way to Haversteep. Get a few miles between us and Greywitch. Does that sound reasonable?"
Have you gotten everything you came for?
I assume that's what was in that room.
I anything, sir?
Wasn't really feeling up to it. But I'm glad that you all were here. It seemed Arcturus was right to call you.
I'm glad you're still here.
Let us depart from this horrid place. So, are you all going with her? I assume. Be kind of brief for
I
this
was gonna
next
throw a
portion.
tea party in the middle.
Okay.
Darn it.
So, as you exit from this underground area, you find the surface area of Greywitch to be... Sorry, that's the wrong page. To be completely normal. It just looks like a ruined city. All the evidence of your fight with the undead is gone, aside from a few fingertips sticking out of the ground in different places near the buildings. But that's it. I mean, really, you wouldn't notice it if you didn't know that they were there and that there was a big fight there. So, as you exit from the space there, you head towards Haversteep. The rain beginning to set in, and yeah, you travel along the plains and pretty soon find your way along to the main road, where you all find a cluster of trees easily enough. There's nothing really that's impeding you from finding those, but you travel for about a mile, 2 miles. You get some good rest, but assuming you all want to rest.
Yeah.
Kind of damage for the ribs, force damage. So yeah, you all find a nice little cluster of trees that you can get a little bit of shade or shelter from the rain and enjoy the benefits of a long rest. So Zarius, your hit points return, your hit point max returns.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, so. Varus's wrist is still not healed. It'll be another 2 days. So. But I know we're at time, but I want to get Brandon introduced here, so we're going to go a little long, if that's okay.
Shout out to
Matt,
Brandon.
you really don't have to. I have food coming. If we can just hold it for next session, that would actually be better for me.
Okay, sounds great. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I really...
No, I enjoyed watching it at
Thanks
least.
for sitting with us.
I'm so sorry, yeah. I have a terrible time of gauging like the times and everything, so I'm sorry.
You got to feel for the Vagabonds, though. So hey.
Well, here's the secret. I watched some of your live streams on YouTube.
Oh, no.
no.
Oh, God.
Not the
I
research.
appreciate the introductions.
Okay. Well,
Also,
yeah.
hi, Sky and George. I'm Brandon. I know most of these other people.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
You'll see why I'm here next session, I guess.
I'm sorry. Yeah, for sure next session.
No problem. Maybe
Yeah.
Devin will even be back by then, which would be good.
Yeah, it'll be the first
Yeah.
half an hour at least. Yeah, you get in right away. Okay, so
I feel so bad. I've been there where you're waiting to be revealed. I've been in that exact spot with the character George knows.
No, it's okay.
And-
Mostly because I get to say to Matt, "Gosh dang, I'm not even in the session yet. How could you do this to me?" And you won't know what that means,
Yep.
but I'm not going to spill anything.
Yeah.
But gosh
we
dang.
love it.
hey, I told you I like that emotional payoff. So get ready for it. But yeah,
Oh,
so that's
no.
what we'll call it tonight. At that rest, we'll wake in the morning
Ugh.
at the next session. So yeah, I hope. Thank you everyone for joining us, for watching, especially the players. Thank you, especially Brandon. Thank you for suffering through and not getting to participate yet. But yeah, that was our fun in the underground of Greywitch. Lots of stuff to examine for later. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
we're going to call it tonight. So thank you for watching us. If you want to catch up on any previous episodes, go ahead and check us out on YouTube. Search up Baggage Claim D&D. And we will see you next week for another exciting episode. All right, that's it.
Of the Vagabonds.